Oh, we're live. All right. So I want to welcome everybody. Hello again to Comics Cast Let It Out on another beautiful Sunday here. And I have my partner in crime, my special co-host, Rick.
What do you mean? What do you mean special?
Oh, you're special. You're very special.
Yeah, special. Is it? Yeah, you're special, all right? Or is it special as in I'm great?
You're special as in you're great.
Okay, good.
Okay, so good. Yeah, don't read too much into it. I'm trying to.
I always read too much into it.
I'm trying to throw you some compliments here. And so anyway, welcome to another episode of Comics Cast Let It Out with my special, super great co-host.
I still don't
Rick.
like it.
Okay, we're gonna have to work on how I'm gonna introduce you next time. If you don't like the word special, we're gonna have to come up with a better adjective for you. But yes, here we are at Comics Cast Let It Out. And before I introduce you to our guest for today, if you haven't got the Facebook event reminder, I just want to take care of a little bit of, I guess, some self-promotion for Comics Cast. Rick, could you please call up our YouTube page?
Oh yeah, that's my bad.
Your bad? Oh, you're such a professional. Oh, and make sure you click on videos there so you can see the breadth of our video library. Yes, so here we go. So we are trying to increase our visibility on YouTube. And of course, if you found us through Facebook, thank you so much. I would like for you guys to like and subscribe, just like Rick. Wait. Rick, scroll back up there. Scroll.
No.
Why is your subscribe button red? We talked about this. This is like the third week now. What is up with that? How are you not subscribed?
I'm colorblind.
Oh, you're colorblind. I thought you couldn't see blue. I didn't know it was red. All right. Anyway. Okay, so Rick, I think we went over this. I think Rick is just trying to demonstrate how people can like and subscribe.
Hey, if I can do it, even Gerald can do it, and that means everybody else can.
That's exactly right. That is exactly right. So anyway, I would like anybody who's watching this, and if you could spread the word that you can find Comics Cast under Indie Comics Cast on YouTube. It's a little confusing, but we had to figure out the best wording for this. But anyway, we'd love for you to like and subscribe. And today, it's especially important for you to like and subscribe because we have a kind of a little bit of a bonus that if you do it, and it's related to our guest for today. And so like and subscribe, Indie Comics Cast on YouTube, as well as our Facebook page. So thank you so much. And let me actually show that really quickly. Oops, I think we don't. Oh, here it is. Show. So here we go. Compliments of Rick. Rick created a short URL, but you can always go to youtube.com and then type in Indie Comics Cast, and you should be able to find us. Just look for the little icon that's in the corner. That'll tell you that you're subscribing to us. So here we are on Sunday, and I'm about ready to introduce two of our most phenomenal guests we've ever had on the show. They're returning guests. Rick was
someone is even commenting. One of our guests is even active on Facebook while waiting in the dark room.
Yeah, I think he was can't wait. We can't hold back. Justin Acosta. Let's welcome him to the stream. Justin! We got Justin in house. And
how's it going, guys?
Yeah, Justin.
Hey, Gerald. Hey, Rick.
Thank you.
Hello.
But we don't have just Justin. I'm sure you've had that told to you before. We have the marvelous Marius! Hey, Marius!
What's up, guys?
Justin and marvelous Marius. Fantastic.
Yeah, exactly.
Your wordplays are just.
I know. I worked on that all night trying to figure out what can I put in front of Marius and what can I put in front of Justin, and it just came to me just now. But okay, this is the part of the show where I embarrassed myself because I'm going to try it because last show I could. I practiced it and I practiced it and I practiced it and I still screwed it up. So let me try and pronounce Marius's last name. It's Marius Reonico. Is that right?
No. Reonico. Yeah, you gotta rap it. Reonico.
Oh, Reonico. Okay, so I gotta do the hand gestures here.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
So you know what? I think I just purposely screwed up because it adds a little bit to the show. At least that's my excuse.
I guess.
So anyway,
something to talk about, right?
Yes, it's something to talk about. So I am so happy to have you both here. You've both been on the show before. Justin, he's been on the show, the ART, the Artist Roundtable. So we welcome you back. And we also had Marius on a previous version of Let It Out. So these are both veterans, and I can tell you they've definitely grown exponentially in terms of just the new feats and new artistic levels, just everything. They've basically got a lot to tell in terms of their story since they've last been here on Comics Cast. So I want to welcome you both. Say hi to everybody for us.
Hey, everybody.
Hi, guys.
All right.
Justin first, go ahead.
Oh, it's okay. It didn't cancel each other out. You guys both heard. So we got already a lot of people in here. We got Death saying nice hair. I don't know. He was referring to
which
that's
one?
me.
Would it be Justin? Would it be Justin?
That's me. Of course, it's me.
He's got the longest hair out of all of us.
Oh yeah,
That's
I just put on a hat in the morning so I can just wake up and roll out of bed and just put on a hat. But yes, so we are welcoming you guys back. And just so we can, let's, Rick, you want to call up their oh, he did it already. This is why Rick is so special. I mean, he doesn't like that word for me to say that he's such a great co-host. I'm just going to say great co-host. Is he read my mind. He put up there, these are ways you can contact Justin and Marius. So you can also look at their titles and their windows. They also have ways you can contact them personally. But if you notice, Justin has Podunk Comics listed in there. So that's something that's new. That's one of the new things that we're going to talk about today, is that Justin has formed a new, I guess I'm going to call it the umbrella. It's kind of like the parent, it's the parent to all of the, to the title Boar-Bane, which we're going to talk about too, but the future of all these other titles, the Boar-Bane universe. Actually, I guess it's going to be the Podunk universe now.
Yes, that's right.
So it's basically going to be the umbrella that all these great creative titles are going to be under. So that being said, go check out Boar-Bane, and you're going to check out Podunk. So we're at this part of the show where we're going to do a little bit of the intro to those those peeps, those fans that are here who have not seen Justin's appearance here on ART or Marius's appearance on Let It Out previously. So what I'd like for you guys to do is we're going to call it the elevator speech. Just tell us a little bit about yourself. I'm going to pull up a PDF to talk about it. Now, I'm going to probably do a dramatic pause on yours, Justin, because I'm going to let you talk a little bit about Podunk before I reveal some of those things that you sent me, and that'll be a great transition into what we're going to show with Marius. So Mike is now handed over to you, and let me pull up that PDF.
Awesome. Well, me and Marius, we were talking about people taking us serious, and obviously Marius's work, his artwork, people take him serious. So I needed to kind of step up to the plate a little bit, so people, we can, publish our work and get it out there. And Marius, he mentioned that, the name needs to be something, from the heart, where you're from, what you're about. And, I say there's not a lot about me, but I'm country, we're a small town. I don't know how many people tell me, on a weekly basis, man, like, you're country, you're just Podunk, you're just a Podunk guy from a Podunk town, just living a Podunk way. And I was like, that's perfect. And it just kind of described us perfect, because we are a super, super small company, but we have big ambitions, and I think we're just as good as anybody out there. And, Podunk is just basically what it's about. I live in a town, and I think we're a community of about 25 people in Fargo, Texas. So
that is such a small number.
No, it's super small. So it's kind of cool for, I do all my hunting out there. I do all my, everything out there, raise my kids out there from, so everything just goes back to the word Podunk, and we're just kind of ready to, put our mark on the comic industry and just kind of let people see some of the great artwork and the great stories we have to tell, So Marius kind of mentioned, let's start a company, let's start an umbrella company and put out the best artwork, raise, the standard for the artwork, raise the standard for the stories. And, what do you know? We went and did it. So that's Podunk.
I just saw this little comment here from John Young. He said 25, including the hog dogs.
Oh yeah.
I guess John is one of. Is he from your same town?
Oh yeah, yeah, Jared.
Okay.
Yeah, he's red team.
Okay, great. So I'm glad that we have some fans here now. I mean, fans of Justin here, and I guess this is a good moment to talk a little bit about that special complimentary thing that you're doing to help promote Comics Cast and through Podunk Comics. If people saw our Facebook event reminder, there was a little bit of a little contest that was compliments of Podunk. Now I'm gonna let you Justin, talk a little bit about that, because I want all of our viewers to know what that special complimentary thing that you're doing for us, which I really appreciate.
So ComicCast, they're on their road to 5,000 followers, and Boar-Bane, we're on our road to 2,000 followers. So we just wanted to get the participation going, and I got a lot of buddies at the shop, that work for me and work with me, and buddies. They're saying, "Man, when are you going to draw me in the comic? When are you going to draw me in the comic?" And and I was like, there's a lot of people that want to be a part of what we're doing, in some form or fashion. So I said, what better way to get ComicCast, get their wheels going, get our wheels going, then do a free giveaway. So if you like and share the Facebook stream, subscribe to their ComicCast YouTube channel, and email me at podunkscomics@gmail.com. We're going to put you in a drawing for a chance to be illustrated into our comic for Chapter 3, Chapter 4, and Chapter 5 as a reoccurring pivotal character. So for the two winners, we're looking for a human villain, and we're looking for a human connection, like a human good guy. So we're adding two very important characters.
Wow. So like I'm telling you, this is your chance.
It's not too late. Get in there, subscribe, and share the stream.
Yeah, it's not too late to be part of what I call Boar-Bane history here. And before we get,
needs to be the villain.
I need to be the villain, and we actually have a little bit of if anybody watched the appearance of Marius. Gosh, I forgot, that was like earlier this summer. Justin and Marius's brother Maverick, they totally surprised the heck out of us. They basically did Boar-Bane versions of my partners Faye and Joe and myself, and in fact it's still my avatar for my Facebook page, because I am such a fan. I mean, if it doesn't show, my banner also for my personal page still has Boar-Bane on there.
That's why you were allowed back, Marius, because now I'm here.
Oh, yeah.
No,
that's why Rick said Rick found out you guys were going to be on the show, and he goes, "Oh, I got to be in on this," because I think he wants to be in on the if there's a chance that he might be drawn into the Boar-Bane universe.
If Yarrow gets a drawing, but why not me? No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I love you. Why I wanted to be here so much, not just because I'm the co-host, is also because I am absolutely in love with the art of Boar-Bane. It's just my style of art, and yeah.
Oh yeah. So, and Rick told me all about how he just loves Marius, and so he's gonna talk about his love and for Marius's artwork later on when we start showing it. But I just want to continue to tell people to follow us on Facebook. You can see our event reminder. Basically, just click on the like and subscribe in both Facebook and Indie Comics Cast, and if you can just click a picture of proving that you did it, send it to the Indie Comics Cast at gmail.com, as well as the Podunk Comics at gmail.com account, just to let us know that you did it. And Justin was going to pick from the people that did it. We got a few people already, and there's some hashtags that we would love for you to put on there. The most important one, of course, is Draw Me in Boar-Bane. Hashtag Draw Me in Boar-Bane, and then of course there's the Indie Comics Cast and the Podunk Comic hashtags as well. So
hashtag Rick is awesome. It's a must.
Oh yes, that's also one you want to put in there as well. I think just for fun, throw in that hashtag as well. So please do that if you're on the stream. If you're seeing that, or pass the word along. Send it to all your family members. We'd love to have as many people participate in this contest. And Justin will look at everybody that sent emails and has liked our pages, and he'll look at that, and he'll get in contact with you, put their contact information, and he'll check those all out at the end of the show, and he'll make a decision this week. He'll do it randomly, and it's your chance to be in Boar-Bane. Now, here we are. We're talking about Boar-Bane. Boar-Bane is Justin and Marius's creation. Justin being the writer creator, and Marius being the artist creator behind this phenomenal comic that is called Boar-Bane. And they are here on the show to celebrate issue number 2, because issue number 1 was a smash. It was a nice introduction to the I'm going to call it now the Podunk universe. But it introduced us to Jack Boar-Bane and his pack, and I'm gonna before we get to that, I just forgot completely to talk about Podunk. Podunk. So before we get to these covers for Boar-Bane 2, Justin, you were talking about the larger picture of Podunk Comics.
Right.
Can I just say that currently we got as many viewers as Justin have neighbors.
Oh gosh! Yeah, we got 24. We got the whole town of
the whole town. So
yeah, the whole town of Vernon, Texas is all, you know. It's like a soccer game, you know, in South America. The whole town is shut down now to like watch. So Mount Vernon.
They got it on big screen. They got it on big screen at the community hall and everything.
Yes, exactly. So everybody in Vernon, Texas, is now watching this. Oh, we hit 25. We're gaining views here. Went from 24 to 25. Okay, so Justin, tell us a little bit about what else Podunk Comics is about. You know, because I think you mentioned some little things about you being the businessman, about some of the entrepreneurial things that you're planning to see. That because it goes beyond comics. So can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, it does. I'm a part owner in an esports pro gaming team. So we're hosting, you know, weekly, monthly tournaments every day. So I got a whole team of guys that, you know, we play everything from Gears of War to For Honor, which is how me and Marius met. And so we've been doing that for 2 years where we're hosting the esports tournaments online. And we have such a following now that we're actually going to build a physical arcade in Vernon, Texas. Now, yeah. So we're going to have a physical esports arena / arcade, and the town of Vernon just needs it. I mean, we don't even have a bowling alley. You know, we have a movie theater and we have a haunted house that opens up. But these kids, the kids in our community really don't have anywhere to go to hang out and, you know, not even go on a first date or, you know, do anything or just relax, you know. So me and a business partners, we're going to open up and get these kids something to do that's fun. And from there, it just goes into, you know, introducing that pop culture back into Vernon, Texas. There's a lot of stuff that the kids are missing out on. So we're going to bring it to Vernon and get some good stuff going. And then from there, just the body shop businesses that, you know, we're running, you know, we have 3 locations in Vernon, Wichita, and Altus. So it's just, everything just seems to be right. You know, a lot of people got shut down by COVID, but the businesses that I'm part of, we just kind of we kept moving forward. The guys kept working hard. You know, all the guys at the body shop and all the guys in the Slaceon gaming team, we just kept working hard. And it's really seemed to, you know, it's coming to fruition. You know, it's happening. So we're just with Podunk Comics. Yeah, we're just gonna keep telling new stories that haven't been out yet, and just new characters, new things. So I'm excited for 2021.
Yeah, and I think that's the thing about everything is better in Texas. I think that's what people like to say, and it's like
bigger.
Yeah, bigger. Yeah, there
USA.
We go. America. Yeah. So basically, you also mentioned that this was actually going to be a great way, not only to have like a kind of like a social, cultural, place for kids to hang out there. You know, it's a nice positive vibe that you're creating, nice environment. But it's also going to be a ways that I think that's going to put Vernon on the map, because I think aside from the exciting arcade opportunities, because you don't even hear too much about arcades anymore. But you know, the esports angle, but it's also going to be, you know, a shameless way for you to actually put a shop in there too, because I think that comic shops are like going the way of the dinosaurs. You don't hear of ways to do that, and I think this whole arcade thing is a way to, like, you know, to do kind of like a multi-pronged approach. You know, you have a nice cultural center for kids, you know, positive place for kids to hang out, but it's also going to be a way that you can. I think you said you're going to set up a shop, you know, that's going to have like, you know, Podunk Comics, maybe some other comics,
action figures, you know, I mean, we have to, you know, just for collectors, you know, we have to go 50, 60 miles to kind of get anything, you know, collector statues, you know, posters, anything that, you know, collectors are into. So I'm going to try to bring all that to Vernon, Texas. So.
Boo-hoo. I'm sorry, Justin, that was not to be mean, but you said we have to go this far. I'm from Denmark. I had to go to freaking England to get all that.
Hey, you might as well just get a ticket and come to Texas instead. You know, you don't need to.
Yeah, because that's cheaper and easier for me. Yeah.
And you know what? I was talking to Justin. It's like, now we're going to go back into Boar-Bane here. Is that, hey, if you go down to Vernon, not only can you check out this future arcade, which is going to be a smash, but yeah, you can get some hunting tips from Justin. He's because that was the inspiration behind Boar-Bane. So we're going to move into that as we talked about issue 1, and now we have issue 2 that's come out. And what do we have here? Oh no, this is the Boar-Bane Boar banner, the Boar-Bane banner that was used at the.
It actually sounds cool.
Yeah, actually, the Boar banner.
Banner.
Yeah, it's going to be something that you can use in For Honor. You're going to have to do some sort of Boar-Bane character in For Honor. He's going to carry a flag, the Boar banner. But yes, so these are the characters for Podunk Comics, and then here is Boar-Bane issue number 2. So this is what is currently available right now to get, and you can see this is the pack. So you can see these great, I mean, just strong art. I mean, it's just, you look at it, it's just filled with just action, and just like where do you see the comic going? It's just awesome. So this is issue number 2, but these are the other reveals that we wanted to share. Is the virgin cover with no text on it, and then we have these. Now, this is what I'm calling it. This is the next level art that I was talking about. This is what sold me on Marius, what attracted me to his artwork. And of course, that's what Rick loves about Marius. Yeah. He loves this artwork. Just look at this.
It's absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah, just insane detail. But it gets even better. Because here we show another type of variant cover, but this shows how Marius, I think Marius, you can talk about this further, but I'm just going to just paraphrase here, and you can correct me because we're going to give you an opportunity for your elevator speech too. Sure. But this is a paint over technique where you're not actually, where you're painting over the lines. It's different from, where people do traditional inking and then kind of like color underneath it. You're actually painting over it. So this gives it just another level of just depth and three-dimensional. I mean, it's phenomenal, and seeing it against the stark white background just makes it even more striking. But then it gets even better, because now we start seeing it with the background, and it's just like popping off the screen. Oh my! You can almost feel like he's charging, and he's just coming off the.
I don't know about you guys, but I got a hard on right now. That is beautiful. Okay. That is beautiful.
You gotta chill, bro. You gotta chill. We gotta keep it PG, man.
Right. You still gotta last for the rest of the show. You can't get that way right now. But yeah, keep it PG here. So I just want to share, and then of course here we have the non-bloody version with the title here. But yes, this is what you can expect. Yes, look at you. We have Justin. Oh, go ahead.
And Gerald, I messaged Marius 2 words, and all I said was Alex Ross, and he said, okay, and then he knew the paint effect and everything that we wanted. He knocked it out of the park. It's just gorgeous, and everything that he does turns into my favorite artwork from him.
I agree too. It's like I see a new piece and I like, that's my favorite art piece. Then he shows me something else. Oh no, this is my favorite art piece. And then it keeps on going because you just keep on leveling it up. And this is what you can expect from Boar-Bane. This is the type of quality you can expect. This is something that I don't even know if the big names, which shall not be named here, if they can put out this quality, it's just insane. And you know what, Alex Ross, big fan of him, but he uses a lot of model references. He's lucky enough to have a nice studio, great models that he can shoot and light, and that allows him to, phenomenal talent. But last I checked, I don't think there's anybody that looks like any of the Boar-Bane pack. Are you saying that Marius doesn't have some mutant dogs in his backyard right now? He could, we don't know. Yeah, with a year of COVID. Secret. Yeah, with a year of COVID, I don't know. Anything's possible. Maybe there's mutant dogs running around in the Philippines.
That's what's cool about it, Gerald. Everybody can do their version of Batman. Everybody can do their version of Superman, but he's creating characters that nobody's seen before for the first time. So he is setting the standard for new characters.
Yeah, well, you both are, because it's this is what I like to say. Like in the description, it's a collaborative process where Justin brought something that was near and dear to him, something that's in his culture, like that's in his DNA. Going out there and hunting. And he said, you know what? I can see a story written around this. And then he discovered Marius, and Marius. This is where we're going to tell about your story here. So the mic is going to go over to you. I'm going to show, we've seen this Boar-Bane artwork, but I got treated to some of his stuff that he's done since since his last appearance. And like I said, that the stuff that he showed last time, I was already like saying this is like phenomenal, but he's leveled up. He's leveled up for sure. So Marius, tell us a little bit about all of this. This is what we're going to talk about. I'm just going to scroll through it. You can tell me when to stop. You can just tell us a little bit about your background, of course, where you've been, where you're going, obviously with Podunk and your future. But I'm just going to scroll through this artwork, and if you want me to stop, just let me know. But just give us your elevator speech.
Sure thing. So hi guys, my name is Marius. I mean, we've pretty much talked about this over the past few minutes. Well, over the past few months, I've just been working, really. That's all I've been trying to do, just trying to improve my skill, because I know that I already can draw, but then I always realize day by day that there are some little things that I still haven't mastered, and so I give priority to those things just to be able to render images far more accurate as I could. So like you said, when it comes to Alex Ross, and he has these models, the studio and all of that, I try to replicate that in my own way through research, through trying to really understand how anatomy works, how objects work. And so I do that with lots of time. I spend lots of time doing that and then just drawing through. And then since based on the images that we have here, I think it's kind of evident how my style is sort of leaning towards the classical or the Baroque, because those are styles that I really, really love. And I want to be able to sort of represent modern figures, these modern characters, because they are the legends of today. They are the, what do you call it? They're the Hercules of today. They're the ones that we look up to as our Zeus and our Greek mythology, our Roman mythology. And so why not represent them in a more fantastical nature, but set at a higher value, the value that these characters would have, really. And so that's what I try to do with my art, and I hope that I'm able to accomplish that. And basing on the reactions of people, I think I have to some degree, and I'm really proud of the work that I've done, and I want to be able to top it even more every single time. So that's just the case that I have. So, and as you can see here, I also do traditional line art. So that's actually drawn by hand, inked by hand, and then just placed into Photoshop to sort of digitize. But then when working digitally on Photoshop, I try my best not to be crutched by the tools, the special tools that Photoshop has, and still try to understand the way color works, the way color blends, the way colors fade into each other or terminate and create these lines and borders and contrast. And I think that's what, because essentially, like looking at our faces now here at Comics Cast, we're just pixels. That's all we are right now. We're just colors. We're just representations of Justin, Gerald, me, and Rick. That's all it is. But then we recognize those images right away, right?
Exactly.
And so
I'm a damn nice representation, though.
Oh yeah, definitely. And so that's what I try to do to get the illusion, of the picture and elevate it forward, because I'm a big fan of comics, as this Comics Cast can tell. I'm a huge fan of it ever since I was a kid. I was a fan of Jim Lee, Michael Turner, Alan Silvestri, all of these great legends, and they were able to bring something out of those pages. Like you and Justin said, it's like something just pops up right of the page, and it always filled me with wonder how a 2D object, a very flat object, like just comes at you, right? And I wanted to be able to do that with my art, and that's just where I'm coming from when it comes to all of these illustrations. I try my best to give life to them, to bring life into them, and it takes time, really. And but I think the best things come with time. So really, that's just my case for it, I guess.
Yeah, look at this. You made it disappear. Look at this. We got John Schell the third here. Beautiful art and a 6-story. Great addition to the indie comic book community. I think they're setting the bar for what you can expect for an indie comics production. I mean, this is just such professional work, you know. Oh, go ahead.
I also just say, Marius, that what you just said about how you process art and how you see art to be done in general is just almost kind of like me, and I think it's a beautiful way to see things because it also helps make what you draw more realistic. Just having that start thinking that you need to make a 2D piece look 3D, and that's your first and final goal, basically. And if you can, if you can do that, anything's basically possible after that. When you learn that,
I think so, yeah.
"Quote unquote" little thing. I say "quote unquote" because it's not little, but it sounds like it is. If you can do that, well, you are actually the biggest step you can be in order to get where you want to be.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more with Rick, because I think of, you don't necessarily hear like what was the word that you used, Baroque. I was like going back to art history. I was like taking me back to my college years, and I was just thinking to myself about art history. It's like you don't really think of classical art theory, the Baroque style of when you think of that in comics. And what I love about it, here we see fantastic line artwork, which is Marius was talking about pixels and using lines to define shape and form, but the Baroque style is, correct me if I'm wrong, about your look here. It's that dark. It's like the light coming out from a dark, and
the chiaroscuro, the play of contrast and light.
Right, and that's the thing we talked about. The paint over that you were doing is that there's several different styles in comics, and a lot of the I guess the most common comic style is the very defined inked edge. This is one plane, and separating it from another plane, you have a line that separates it, and you have color, and then you can kind of like do sorts of shadowing and different effects, lighting effects to do that. But by using this technique that you're doing with paint over, it's sort of like removing the line. It's no longer, you don't really see a line. Is. Yes, you see color forms, and that's how you define shapes. And so when you see it coming out of the dark, when you see that, it's not because there's a line that separates light from dark. It's that gradation between color and form, and I just think that's the next level. It's that fusion of fantasy and realism. Of course, it makes it look so dimensional. And I think Rick is at he's like busting at seams. Go ahead, Rick. Talk about it. What do you want to say?
I mean, I just find it insanely insane that this line work you're showing up here is basically just your sketches, because you paint over them. I'm like, these are just your sketches. Are you crazy? This could be something in itself, and I really do like the Baroque style because this style reminds me very much of the old school Conan covers in a good way. I absolutely love those and that style it gives, and I think if you can come close to that in a digital spectrum, you're that close. You're probably as close as I have seen to those traditional Conan covers.
Yeah, I'm zooming in here because Marius was so nice to provide me high resolution images. So, I mean, look at this attention to detail. I mean, we got these textures, and we also get this mood that look at that gaze. I mean, you don't want to be caught in her gaze because she's going to definitely take a piece out of you. But yeah,
a lot of people find that image hot, so there's that. They'd like to be in that gaze.
The Valkyrie.
Right. Well, I was just.
I don't want to be in a Valkyrie's gaze. That means I'm dead.
Yeah, Valkyrie is basically the harbinger of death. You don't want to be in her gaze. But it's so rich, these palettes, and you don't see like I said, this is a perfect. You see this horn on his helmet here. This is a perfect example of not having a line to define depth. This is what this is Marius right here. This is why he's able to do this. Just incredible stuff. Look at the textures, and like I said, I'm just completely floored. Oh, and let me scroll down to the line art because I'm not knocking the line art, but because I do love his line art as well. Oops, see, it's so high resolution. It takes a while for it to refresh here.
He calls that sketches. Like, what the hell, man?
I think this is a little.
You just casually sit down there and say, "Yeah, that's That's just what I do before I paint over it all. What?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, it's a little bit more than sketches, but it's very rich. And what I like about this too is that you don't have to. I mean, you do have some varying line weights, but it's not like super thick and super thin. You're just so clean with your rendering, and I'm not clean when it comes to my own art, but I'm just looking at this. Every line is so deliberate, it's so intentional that you see these. I mean, look at the individual hairs in his beard, and you see his armor. You get a sense of what these materials are without even it being rendered. Yeah, Justin, you were gonna say? Oh, was somebody good? Oh,
no, it's beautiful.
Yeah. How long does a sketch like that take you?
A sketch. Yeah.
If you're gonna say 10 minutes,
it depends. Sometimes it takes. Oh no, these take up to 8 to 12 hours, I guess,
okay.
or 12 to 16 hours, depending. Yeah, depending.
And that's just the sketch, and then you probably spend 20 more hours on the painting.
Yes, that is correct. Yes,
yeah.
That is correct.
Yeah, I could tell that the painting was probably in that time frame. So you must work all the time in order to also be able to put it out in comics out. Do you sleep?
I barely sleep.
Okay.
There are days when I don't sleep at all for like several days just to try and pump things
coffee.
out. And then a lot of coffee. I think I'm a coffee addict to some extent. So I'm still trying to keep myself healthy. So yeah, coffee and water and exercise. I haven't done some of it because I'm really pumping.
I think you're cutting out a bit.
We're getting a little bit of that
commissions and all of that.
Okay.
Hello.
Yeah,
Can you hear me?
Yeah, you're coming in and out. Go ahead. Keep on going.
Okay. So yeah, I've been pumping work because I'm doing commissions to sort of advertise. Commission slots are open. So if you'd like to have a work done in this quality, then just message me on my Facebook page and on my Instagram, and we could discuss pricing and all of that. And I'm gonna do my best to really create the image that you have in mind, and with the best render that I could possibly do. So
you gotta pay him
that.
well,
then,
guys. Don't try and get really cheap, because this guy deserves to get paid proper money for what he does.
And
it's just amazing.
Thank you.
I just want to also
Thank you.
This is my discussion.
I'd at least pay you $5 for that.
I take that. Okay. And I do a quick smiley for you.
Oh yeah, there we go. So it's going to be the Baroque smiley face now. But I think that what I also want to say is that Marius is a consummate professional. I think Justin, this is my conversations with Justin, is that even, I mean, he throughout Boar-Bane's production is that that he's been able to maintain his obligations to Justin and create the Boar-Bane artwork that we shared with you, but still do commissions. He's just a professional, so you can expect not only this quality, but you're not going to see any type of Justin as much as I think that he would love to just, hey, you know what, you're going to be on a contract, I'm going to buy you out,
right?
And you're going to just do
right.
I'm going to get exclusive rights to Marius. As much as that would be great, I think that he's never wavered in his quality to Boar-Bane, and I encourage you. And that's another thing too, is I want everybody, now that you've seen Marius's work, you've seen those variant covers to Boar-Bane, go check out those links below and buy those issues. You will not be disappointed. They're exquisite. I mean, you're going to see something that you've never seen, I think, with a lot of comics or indie comics that are out there. Great storytelling, great artwork, and you can just see in these artworks. It's multi-talented, and I think Marius, you talked about this before. What I like about your style too is that you're a very studied artist. You aside from the realistic approach that you want to do with the rendering of it as well, you research, like For Honor. These are historical. There's a historical context to For Honor, and For Honor is a video game. So you want to expand a little bit about that in terms of like your process, in terms of like you may not have those models in terms of like Alex Ross and access to the Smithsonian Museum of all these these armors, but you use the power of the internet to do research. So tell us a little bit about your process there.
Well, actually, I think I can do a bit of explaining while showing the process of how I made the variant cover of Sully.
Okay.
It's the link that I shared. That one. Mm-hmm. I think I shared the link with you guys like a few days ago.
Let's see. I can go through the chat, but if you have it, like if you'd like to,
I think I have it. Yeah. Let's see. Let's see.
You want to go ahead and share it? You can do that.
Sure. Give me a few seconds.
Okay. I'll let you do that. I'm just gonna while you're finding that, let me know when you're ready. I just want to give our audience one more peruse here of this great artwork. I mean, here's the line art, here's the paint over, and here's the
say just joined us, and all he had to say was wow. Yeah. Well, I completely agree with your sentiment, Said. I think I've said that more than once already.
Yeah,
this is just wow.
Yeah, exactly, just wow. But yeah, look at all these poor boars. Makes you almost feel sorry for them. Not. I don't feel sorry for them. Yeah.
All right, I think I have it available right now. So, just a few seconds.
Yeah, just hit share screen and good to go.
Application window. All right. So here. So will YouTube be visible via the screen share?
Oh, there it is. Yep, there it is. So is this a time?
Oh, you got a YouTube.
Yeah, I think
I do.
I do recall this. Oh, I think it's a oh no, okay, there you go. So this is a time lapse process, right? It's showing your
Yes, that is correct.
Yeah, go ahead and do a voiceover. Tell us about what's happening.
So regarding those models, as you can see, I always try to request reference images from my clients. So in the case of Boar-Bane, Justin sends me reference images that he has from his hunts and all of that. And so I try to zoom in into all of those detail and then try to combine them with specific references that seem to fit the concept. So like here we have the Arnold Schwarzenegger running meme. And so I noticed.
Yeah, we thought it was Justin.
No. Well, I think Justin's just as muscular. So,
yes, exactly.
But he hasn't sent me his topless pics. So yeah, as you can see, this is my Alex Ross Museum of Models. The internet, and then I go to the YouTube, and then I try to just always think about what movie does this, what advertisement does that, and then I try to reference cinema as best I can, video games, and then I take screenshots. And then I just don't take screenshots per se. I try to understand the material that's being used in my work and then the work that I'm referencing. So in this case of his armor, as you can see here, we have Iron Man over on the bottom left side. And I'm trying to see how the reflections are being caught on the steel. How Sully, the dog, how the dog's skin reflects on his thigh as it's being shined on. And I'm trying to evaluate how the light, how the skin fades into the background, since it's a little more distant from the front of the camera. And just overall painting every single detail that I could find and evaluating things as it goes through. So that's just the process, really.
And you had a reference picture of Carol. Oh, there he is.
This is what I was like totally entranced, and then Rick just ruined my moment here. Because both Justin and I were like just our eyes were just locked in this process. Yeah, so
we had a question.
That's actually taken from a scene in chapter 2.
So we had a question here from Said that's asking if it's ready to buy, and if so, he will get it next month because he's as astounded amazed by this as we are.
Justin,
so tell it, sell it a little bit. Is it ready to buy?
Yes, chapter 1 and chapter 2 are available with all variant covers. So just Boar-Bane at facebook.com. Just message me.
Yes. Because I think that's the next level that Justin is exploring, is like how he can kind of like, because right now you're going to get such a level of personal touch, because Justin, you just message him personally, and he'll respond to you, and he'll be the guy that's going to be, it'll be him or his mom that are going to be packaging up these books and making sure they're secure and they're ready to be sent out. So that's what you're gonna expect. You're gonna have that next level of customer attention, from Justin. So
My daughter, Erin, she's 11, and when I bring out the bags and boards, she Dad, we got a bag on board all these, and so, we're a single family distribution center, so it's fun.
Yeah, children labor. That's good. It's free business. I'm all in for it.
Well, she's a perfectionist. So Erin gets it done right the first time, so she actually goes over and does a better job than I do. So,
yeah. Well, you know what? That's just got to keep it in the family. Family owned.
Yep.
He puts the family and family owned business here. That's what you're gonna get. So, here we are. We're at 45 minutes into the show, and now we're actually gonna get to the drawing. And I didn't tell this to Rick, but Rick, we're gonna try and go because you're the timekeeper, and really you're gonna have to worry about me because Marius is not only super talented, but he's super fast. And I would encourage people to go check out.
Oh, I always worry about you.
Oh yes, you do. That's why I have Rick on the show, because I don't get enough people aren't concerned about me enough, and Rick is he's worried about me. But anyway, you're gonna be the timekeeper because today we're gonna do 4. We're gonna try and do 4 drawings. We're gonna do 4 lines. We're gonna try and do 4 because I love these guys so much.
It's 8 in the evening here. It's getting to midnight.
It is not about you. It's about them.
Yeah.
Oh, come on, Rick. We want you in the show. We don't want to see you go, man. Come on.
I want to see you do stuff. I'll just have to pay you extra.
Well, you know what? You got to suck it up, Buttercup, because Marius, tell us what time it is in the Philippines right now.
It is 2:49
a.m.
Yeah.
So
okay, so
come on, Rick.
Quit.
So
don't say you have nothing to say. Anyway, so let's get into our first drawing. So I want people to see what you get to see live action of what Marius can do. Marius is super talented, super fast, and what we're gonna do is we'll give also an opportunity for Justin to kind of talk a little bit about some of the characters here in the Boar-Bane universe, because today we're gonna focus on Tango, right? Tango is his name. Tango was introduced in issue number 2, and so that people like Saeed, and I'm sure the legions of people that are going to go line up to buy Boar-Bane after seeing this cast, I want you guys to, if you want to draw along with us, please do. Just let us know in the chat that you are, and we'll definitely show it. Oh, here he is. He's about ready to that's his drawing template, the samurai sword. We're going to talk a little bit. Pencil. Yeah, we're going to talk about Tango, and Justin, just sort of without giving away any spoilers, of course, because we want people to pick up the issue. We're going to do that. So I'm going to share the screen, and Marius is going to treat us too, because it's going to be digital this time. So we're going to see his in a much larger screen, and mine's going to be this tiny because I don't mind. I'm going to actually probably stop and watch Marius do this. So that being said, let's do Tango. And before I get to that, let me show what Tango looks like. So let me stop screen, share screen, and we're going to go back to the PDF that I showed. And so Tango is this character. Is it this character here, right here in the foreground?
No, sir. No, he's not. He's not in the title page. Those are the 6 original.
Oh, oops.
Wow! Yeah,
you know what?
Wow. Oh God!
How embarrassing!
Yeah.
Okay.
How embarrassing!
I'm totally embarrassed.
No, it's good.
Okay, how about this, Marius? Fix my embarrassment, and if you could pull up an image on your screen of Tango.
Sure. Of course, I have all the files right here with me.
Yes, again, this was all intentional. I wanted to give Marius the limelight.
Yeah.
So, and I thought for sure that I had it in my key here, but I'm totally embarrassed. Sorry about that. So let's get a view of what Tango looks like. And
so it's already right here.
Oh yeah. Here we go. Oh, here we are. And so, okay, if you could zoom in a little bit, let's take a gander here. And just look at this. It's just speechless. And I'm going to let the viewers just kind of look at this, of course. But then when we start drawing, I'm going to let Justin kind of give the 411 on who Tango is. But yeah, phenomenal. This room actually has a lot of story in it as well. And I think that Justin, if you want to talk, there's the story. There's some Easter eggs that you can find in this, and it's like these are real photos, but Marius has blended it in so it fits like seamlessly into like this fantasy world. So just incredible. See, Rick, there was a reason why I didn't have the file, because I wanted Marius to like pull up this.
Yeah. You're so smart, Gerald. You're the smartest I know. You're special.
Now he's using my words against me.
No, so get on with drawing so me and Justin can talk.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
So, all right, so I'm going to add my little screen to the bottom, and I'm going to Marius.
How long do you think you need for this one, Marius?
He can blink and it happens.
I'm not Superman, so
like 10, 15 minutes.
Let's do 15 minutes.
I'm asking
Marius. Sounds about nice.
I'm asking Marius here, Gerald.
Oh, you are? Okay. Yeah. I have no say in this.
No,
okay.
so
around 15 minutes. Yeah, let's try 15 minutes.
Look at this. What's up, Rick? Yeah, look at this.
At least 15
What's
minutes.
up, bro?
So that's the artwork. That's what you can expect for $5, Rick.
Yep. I'm so sorry. This is all that I can do.
This is perfect. It has my name in it, so it can't be better.
Yes, exactly. So,
this is a Baroque smiley.
there you go.
Beautiful.
It's just coming off the white paper, it's just
jumping off.
Yeah, jumping off. All right, so here we're a little bit past. Let's see, what time is it now? It is 1:54.
Okay,
it's going to be 1:55. 1:55. Let's start right now. So go ahead, Justin. You and Rick, go at it. Talk about Tango.
So the first thing.
Tango's a kind of an assassin dog. He's a all business. He's no play. So he's kind of an Achilles meets John Wick, I guess you could say. So we have hunting dogs that people want to, when we go on hunts, people want to pet them and play with them and stuff. But every now and then we have that one hunting dog that just you can't pet them. They just have that look and feel to them that you're not supposed to pet them. So Tango's that dog. He's that all business dog, no BS. So his focus is on the hunt, and he's actually Jack's first dog. So him and Jack have a relationship that goes beyond the original pack, but some events that led up to their falling out. Tango basically had to make some decisions that put the entire pack, in jeopardy, and it ended up costing something very, very important to the pack. So Jack exiled Tango because of it. So
the chewing toys. Was it the chewing toys? Was it the chewing toys that he cost them?
No, yeah. No, he kind of
Tango. Yeah.
Tango, he basically puts the hunt before anybody else. So he's kind of cocky. He's aggressive. He's assertive. So he ended up putting him in a situation that a couple dogs didn't make it out of alive, and Jack never forgave him for it. So and he's been gone from the pack for a few years. And then leading up to chapter 1 and chapter 2, the dogs, Jack and the rest of the team, are realizing, hey, it's time for us to pull off our gloves. I think it's time to get Tango back so we can start, taking the fight back to the pigs. So chapter 3 and chapter 4 will basically kind of talk about that. How will they get Tango back? How can they get him back? And let's start winning the war against the pigs. So he's just an awesome, awesome dog.
He's a good boy.
Yeah, he's a very good boy.
He's been saving that one. He's been waiting to say that.
I have. So where did the idea come with doing hybrids, dog hybrids like this? And how many races are there in total? Are they different races, or are they all Pitbull-esque?
No, there were Tango, Dan, and Oscar are based off a blackmouth cur. And Rick, a blackmouth cur is a southern bred hunting dog. So they're kind of loosely based on what Old Yeller was. So
I still cry.
The farmers, the plainsmen, they bred these dogs that could go out, work cattle, work sheep, work wild hogs, and hunt all day, and then at the end of the day come home and sleep at the foot of your bed and protect the house as well. So a blackmouth cur is kind of just an all around American dog. He can do it all. But Sully and Torin in the book, they are American bred pit bulls. So they're all bite, no bark. They kind of seal the deal. They're the hammers of the pack. And so
they're the big brutes.
Yep, they are the brutes. Yep. They're the linebackers, is what we call them.
I mean, it's so cool. But, I mean, I've worked with my uncle is a hunter, and he breeds dogs as well for other hunters and himself as well. So I've been raised with knowing that I wasn't allowed to approach those dogs because they weren't trained to be around kids. They were trained to be hunters, and that was said early in my head that not all dogs were family friendly. So that you're going to put that into a comic, that little thing that, hey, not all dogs are meant to be family friendly. I kind of like that because that's something that only hunters get to know.
Right.
It's not everyday knowledge for everybody.
Right. See, and a majority of the pack that I have today, and Jack's pack now, they're all human friendly. So, they'll lay their life on the line for a human, but, Tango was, he's cut a little bit different. He doesn't care about humans. He doesn't care about anything. He just wants to go out and do his thing, and he doesn't care what it costs and, who gets hurt in the process. So he's more of a loner, more of a rogue dog, but he's also, he's that monster that you need. You got to fight beast against beast, and Tango's the ultimate one. So,
sure. So Saeed wants to ask if it's able in digital form, the comic as well, or only physical?
No, not right now. It's only in physical form right now. We're gonna wait probably another year until we get about 4 or 5 issues under our belt. Then we're gonna release it all digitally.
Do you send globally, or is it only American?
I noticed that he's in Dubai. It's just something we'll have to look at and see if we can get it there. He'll have to let me know how to do it.
So it's not something you've made sure of right away, but if it happens, somebody needs it at another place of the world, you'll try to work it out so they get it as a proper seller. What that's good customer service right there. So I'm just gonna say, Marius is almost done, Gerald.
What?
No.
So
he's making a good dog.
Okay, so Rick does that just to get me riled up. So anyway, I'm
10 minutes. You got 10 minutes, so that's bad. That's pretty much time for you. Yeah.
Okay, so keep on going. I'm enjoying this story.
Not in digital form yet, and everybody else pretty much just amazing work. And I agree, amazing work, and I can't wait to hear the story because it does sound like you've put a lot of ideas into this. I just have to ask with the dog pack, are these dog based on dogs that you know yourself and raised yourself, or are they just, or where did the idea come from each individual dog? Because each individual dog surely has to have their own personality as well.
Right, exactly. Yes, yeah, Rick. Every single dog in the story is based off one of my dogs that I own today. Only a couple of them have, passed on. So yeah, and that's really what struck the nerve in me, to get the story going, because the 2 dogs that I have lost, I just felt like their story wasn't done. Their story wasn't over yet, and the dogs that I have now, I kind of wanted to, eternalize them forever, to tell a little bit more of their story. And I know that Boar-Bane's obviously fiction, but a lot of the events that you're seeing are loosely based on stuff that's really happened on our hunts, So for chapter 1, it was titled Ambush, and wild pigs are naturally kind of they're herd animals, obviously. So if something scares them, they're all going to try to get away from it. It's a fight or flight action, and 95% of the time, it's a flight for the wild pigs. And there's been about 5 or 6 times where I've been in the pitch black and the tables turned on us. And, we literally got surrounded, no guns, no nothing. It was just me and a couple dogs and a couple buddies, and we're completely surrounded. So we backed away. I think we ran about 200 yards in the dark, and we stopped to listen. And, lo and behold, the pigs were still coming after us. So it was one of those eerie. Yeah, it was one of those eerie feelings. We finally made it back to the truck, about 1,000 yards away, But on the way home, I was sitting there thinking, I was like, what if they didn't give up? What if they did track me all the way back to the house? I was a little shook that night and, had some nightmares, but that's kind of basically what the story is about.
Oh, nice. Attacked your house and everything and stole your family and put up ransom. Yeah, I can see that. But
so that's kind of where the story based from is like, what if they didn't stop? What if they did keep coming after us? Because, they outnumber humans, they outnumber us pretty bad in most of the, the countryside. So they really wanted to, they could hurt us.
They can be dangerous as hell as well. If you put if such a pig decides, okay, I'm done running and turns around on you, you better have a gun because or close to a car because they can run longer than you. Maybe not faster, but longer.
Right.
Most likely.
They're pretty quick.
Or a big pit bull.
Yeah. I mean, they can probably easily take a pit bull down if they decide on it as well. I don't know. I don't know.
That's what I love about. That's what I love about dogs. Most of my dogs average about 70 pounds, and I think Sully, who I still have today, he's a 110-pound American bulldog and half pit bull. Oh, and shit. we caught a 340-pound pig the other day, and so the pig literally weighs 3 times what Sully does. But the ferocity of a pit bull, of a dog, a hunting dog, they don't know they're outmatched. They don't know they're outweighed or outclassed.
They got to they need to take their targets down. They don't care how big it is.
Yep. And we talk about that in chapter 1. It's like, be careful backing a dog into a corner because, a dog's never backed into a corner. He's going to fight no matter the odds, no matter, the outcome. He's fighting to the death or, till he wins because he doesn't understand that he can lose. So that's basically the story I wanted to tell at Boar-Bane. It was just, how ferocious and how great these hunting dogs really are. And I didn't want their story to stop, so wanted to eternalize them, keep them going.
It's a really special idea that even if you didn't have as powerful art as Marius here delivers, I think it would still have drawn a lot of attention. Basically, because you're trying to put people's minds into dogs, and you're trying to be it as close to how real dogs actually act, but humanize it to a point so people that may not understand dogs as much gets different approach of understanding how dogs thinks by putting them in a humane reality, so to speak. I really think that's super interesting, and I don't remember when it's been done. I've seen hybrids before, comic hybrids before, but they've always been thinking like humans and acting like humans, but looking like animals. Whereas you don't forget where they come from.
Mm-hmm. That's right. And in future chapters, you're going to realize, you're going to see other dog handlers and how they're kind of truly treating their packs. They're still treating them like animals. They're still treating them like soldiers. So you're going to get to see a little bit about how loving and how much Jack actually cares about his pack. And they're not necessarily a pack. He's living among them. He's eating with them. He's fighting beside them. So you're going to see the difference in that. And, so that's just some compliments that I've had.
So there is actual humans in this one as well. Is that what you're saying?
Oh yes, sir. Yeah, tons. Yep.
Yeah. Go ahead.
So explain that a little, because that makes me even more interesting. That it's not just dogs are humans now. It's basically dogs are still dogs, but they look different. Can you try and explain the idea and where that came from? How you fought? You probably fought a lot to try and put that together to make sense.
Right. Yeah. I mean, like I said, Rick, it just goes back to my hunts and, literally being in the woods, being in a creek, being in a river and looking over, and there's no people next to me. No, my hunting buddies maybe a mile away on another pig with his dogs or whatever it may be. But, it's just having legit conversations with my dogs in the woods and, putting all of my love and trust into them. If they go into, some briar, some plum thicket and they're holding on to that animal, they're fighting for their lives. So I'm compelled, they did their part. So I'm compelled to have to jump in there and grab a hold of the animal and dispatch it as humanely as I can. So it's just me and the dogs. So we talk, and I call them names and curse at them and all that good stuff like hunting dogs do. But that's kind of where it came from. I mean, 100% originally where it came from is just me talking to the dogs and, wishing they could talk back and be put in those life or death situations and wondering, what would it take for us to get away from a pig, or telling a dog to go left and I'll go right. And I guess so I really needed that team aspect, because if we could, if that language barrier was gone, it'd be amazing, if we could talk to dogs and the stories they could tell. So, yep.
I like the whole aspect of it. It's just really quick, guys. I'll give you 5 extra minutes.
5 extra minutes. Okay.
The time is actually up, but you get 5 extra minutes because I'm in a good mood today.
Okay. You hear that, Marius? He's in a good mood.
I can hear.
How can I not by watching what Marius is doing? It's just amazing. But I really like it. But I still didn't. You didn't. I still don't understand. How are you able to make? He's a human, like at their size as well, or
right.
Are they drawn as giants, or what? How do you make?
They're actually a bit larger than the normal human. They're slightly larger based on how I you kind of have to make them stand out, right? To make the viewer understand that he's the leader, he's the owner of these dogs. If you understand what I mean. So how was that?
Right,
how was that thinking?
I mean, it's just when I'm, if I'm in the backyard with my dogs, obviously if I have 6 dogs back there, they could, maul me, but it's. They never want to bite the hand that feeds them. It's an alpha pack mentality. So I have to be the alpha at all times when we're at the hunt. So, if a dog gets out of line, we have to correct it immediately. And I think that, I don't want to ruin a joke, but, imagine making cats, the size of these dogs in Boar-Bane. Could you imagine we would lose control of the world in 3 days if cats were the size of these dogs? So,
they'll just do it yourself, do it your damn self, and toss things on the floor from the table.
Yeah, we'd be slaves to these cats. But dogs, I think they're loyal beyond, to a fault. And dogs are, they're very, very one human person. If a dog's, if he's raising a family, he's going to protect that family. So when these genetic modifications. No matter the size or how big, they're loyal to humans and they love their human caretaker and their leader, their hunter. So, once these genetic modifications happen in Boar-Bane, they never lose that pack mentality. They never outgrow it, and they still need that guidance and they still need that, that camaraderie. So it's still there. So Jack,
I'm just baffled about the whole concept because it sounds so really. At first it just sounds so confusing to me that how are you gonna make that work? But then when you speak of it, I'm like, yeah, that makes sense. That makes total sense, and that just makes it even more interesting now for me to want to see how the hell did you make that work? Because as I said, I've been raised with training dogs in one way or the other. It's always been somewhat of a part of me that I've been there, and I've always liked how dogs can be trained to basically protect you from death and everything like that, how loyal they are. I personally think this will be a comic that I will look forward to getting into my hands for sure. So
I'll ship
Jack is the pack leader of the pack. So does that mean there's dogs that also are not hunters but they're still modified and or will that be too much of a spoiler to answer?
No, definitely. I can talk a little bit about it because in chapter 2, you're going to get introduced to the MCOs, the military caravan outposts that travel from city to city, bringing the supplies, bringing the rations, and these hunters in the Boar-Bane world have to purchase their dogs. So not every hunter can just go behind the scenes and create his own pack. He actually has to buy them, purchase them from the military. So they are genetically modified from the U.S. military, and and they're basically selling them as soldiers. As you can kind of go pick what you need, what you want. So if you need a big, heavy hit catch dog, you're going to have options to buy that. So Jack, his pack is a little bit more world renowned because they're taking down the biggest and baddest boars. So that's their specialty. So there are other hunters in the world with their packs, but those hunters are kind of, they're taking the easy money. They're taking as many of the, the smaller and smaller boars and smaller herds of pigs down, while Jack, they're taking down those high-end boars. They're going after the dangerous ones. So that's where you catch up to them. But so there's going to be thousands of hunters in the world, with their packs of dogs. So there's thousands and thousands of these genetically modified dog soldiers that are around. So you'll catch up more of that into chapter 3, and you'll learn a little bit about, rogue bands of these hunter dogs. If they lost their hunter, got lost on the track, you're going to see some rogue bands of these hunter dogs. To answer your, question, Rick, they're not always loyal. Dogs aren't always loyal. So that, and
exactly.
You've been around them. So we're going to learn a lot more about those rogue bands and what kind of role they're going to play in the future of Boar-Bane.
And some dogs has just been destroyed too much in their mind that they can't be helped and stuff like that. And I'm sure we're probably going to see that in your comic as well, because that's a part of being a dog owner, having those dogs that you can't be helped. So I'm just looking forward to the. And before we go on, I have to say, pencils down, boys. It's been 20 minutes.
Okay. Oh my gosh, this is what I love about this show, and what I hate about it too. I love it because I get to see the phenomenal artwork of our guests, and
he makes it. I followed him so much. I forgot to even talk to Justin. He makes it look so easy.
And I
know. I get closer to the screen.
I know. Yeah. I'm totally floored, because it's not just. I mean, it's color rendered already here, and you already get a sense of a personality here, which is Tango. And I think. Justin, you have to forgive me. I didn't tell Rick a little bit about the story behind Boar-Bane. I wanted him to experience it kind of like here on the show. So he doesn't quite know that it's a post-apocalyptic world, and it's like in the not too distant future, and there's genetic manipulation. And that's the reason why you see the mutation of the boars.
Well, that's also why I tell you, Gerald, when we start this, I don't want to know.
Exactly.
Don't want to know nothing, because the more questions I can ask here about things, the more questions the people will get answered before they decide to buy.
Right. And
if they're just half as interested in this as I am, they are gonna go buy it. So prepare to get spammed in your DMs, Justin. I mean,
no problem. I'm ready.
The whole idea of the story, whether you like dogs and like dogs or not, but you got to respect how dogs functions, and you're putting that out there for people to understand, while also getting entertained by the most amazing pieces of art by Marius at the same time. It's just a win-win situation. Great story concept and great art. I can't say anything better than that.
Exactly.
Not at all.
That's exactly what Rick said. So I know we got to move along, because I want to get to some of the other artworks. But Rick, could you solo me out? I'm just going to do a glancing blow, because I don't really want to dwell on it, because it's such inferior piece of artwork here. But so let me show this real quick. And so I have to do this really quickly. I'm not as awesome. But I just wanted to show that look of determination. And I don't remember if he had a signature weapon. I just know that he's kind of like you mentioned he's like the Navy SEALs of dogs, of a pack. So he's versatile with anything. You could give him a pencil like John Wick, and he could take down a whole pack.
I missed the John Wick joke, and ask if someone killed their owner, and that's why they're mad.
Exactly. So
turn it around with John Wick is mad because someone killed their dog, and this was just the opposite.
Oh yeah.
Where someone killed John Wick instead, and now the dog is mad and going attacking everybody.
Yeah, he said basically, you killed my human. Now and after you. So I really like Tango. I think.
You're gonna have to use that for me.
Oh, definitely. But it's totally a totally different direction from the. It's not Marius, and so but I just love everything Marius does. So we're gonna go to our next challenge, which this is the in between one, because we definitely got a chance to see Tango now, and to hear all of Tango's story, you got to buy the book. So talk to Justin, get the book. And again, if anybody in our audience is watching, please feel free to join us. Just let us know in the chat area, the comments section, that you're going to be drawing along. So this is the part of the show where we refer to it as the Rick Challenge. So, and if you haven't watched any of the previous Let It Outs, the Rick Challenge.
I just saw a nervous smile from Marius.
Yeah, I'm nervous about it too because I got to experience this every weekend. So the Rick Challenge is basically a devious challenge that Rick concocts. He comes up with some crazy, harebrained challenge that kind of puts my guests and myself keeps us on our toes. So that being said, Rick, tell us what our challenge is. And I told him also, since we have artist, guests. I like to include our writers in this. So hopefully Rick has a challenge where he can talk to Justin. So take it away.
Well, I do have a challenge that might work with Justin as well, because this is all about hybrids, right? Like animals becoming more human-like, or maybe else. So I was thinking about let the challenge be that. Let's find a really fun two funny animals that has to be human hybrids. So not only is it gonna be a dog turned human, it's gonna be two animals turned human-like.
Oh wait, so the challenge is to have two different animals and fuse the two animals to make them human-like? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Oh, so not just one animal, two animals, and make them human.
It.
Okay. All right. So
Justin, think of an animal. Don't say it. And then in 3, 2, 1, we're gonna say it just together. Okay? Do you have an animal in mind?
Okay. Wait. Before you think about it, I just want to tell people if you want to watch something funny, go watch the last time Rick let us do like some sort of fusion animal, and I had to fuse Wonder Woman with Darkwing Duck.
Yeah, Wonder Wing Duck.
So,
it was perfect.
It was a mess. It was a total.
They got
chaos.
so mad. They were so mad at me because that just.
It was hilarious. All right, so Justin,
you got the first animal. Okay.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Let me hear it. A snellelephant already.
Look, he's done.
Snellelephant.
Okay, so let's hear it, Justin. Your animal is
Bobcat.
Bobcat.
My animal was sheep. So a bobcat sheep hybrid, human-like hybrid.
Oh my gosh! All right. When is the clock?
We got, and you'll get 20 minutes from. Let's just say now.
Okay.
Bobcat sheep.
Bobcat sheep human. So I got one here by Chase Craighead. Enjoy hearing the background and thought process behind the whole concept, not to mention amazing artwork. It's a really good mix of both things, in my opinion. It's really... At first, I was just drawn by the art because I knew absolutely nothing when coming in. I'll say that honestly, I tried to stay away from as much information as possible because I wanted it from you, so I got my first-hand impression on it, right? And now listening to it, it's not just a comic story that you've thrown together just because you could. It's really well thought through, and you put your heart in it. You put your emotion in it by adding your some of your family members to the dogs, and they are family members to hunters and dog owners alike. So you really put a lot of love in it, and I
appreciate that.
You just sorry. I just read that as soon as you when you also commented on it. So I was like, oh. But yeah, it's really good all around, and I can see here people are really into it as well. So tell me, go on.
Go ahead.
No, you go on.
I was going to say, Rick, it's just not about it's not, our Vernon, Texas, or our Texas culture and the whole Southern culture that, it's just not that Southern culture, because I think wild pigs are they're in 48, 49 states, in America now. And I think they're in 140 of the 170 countries worldwide. So this isn't a Texas problem. This is actually very feasible as a worldwide problem. Mm-hmm. So, it's cool. So I'm going to touch base on trappers, guys that shoot them from helicopters, guns, everybody has a place in the Boar-Bane world, and we actually got invited out to we have a chance to hunt at the Dallas Trophy Club. There's wild pigs coming onto the golf course that the Dallas Cowboys, they play golf there, and there's wild pigs that are tearing up, in the Dallas Metroplex and the Fort Worth Metroplex. So these wild pigs, they don't care. They're encroaching everywhere on mankind. So there's going to come a time, I think, that, Boar-Bane's going to be somewhat nonfiction. We're going to have to start fighting back and get, take control of our land again worldwide. So it's fun.
I like the idea. Also, the fact that hey, it's something that could happen, and if you think about it, with how it grows, the population of boars right now, and it's not even under control from in a lot of countries from over here. I think I've even been told that most places in America struggles with trying to control the population. So it can very well become a fact that it's not Cybernet that's gonna kill us all, it's fucking pigs. Right?
I like the way you phrased that, man.
That's a neat way of thinking about it. And I think
Skynet, it's fucking pigs. I mean, what the hell? who would have thought?
All right, contain your excitement there. But yeah, exactly. Go ahead.
We've been called, me and Red Team, that Gerald knows Red Team a little bit, but we got a call, and he was like, hey man, you got to get to the house. There's a boar on our back porch eating pecans out of our pecan tree. So we show up, and this guy and his two sons are up against the house with a flashlight, and we roll up with the dogs looking like SEAL Team 6, and we dump the dogs out, and sure enough, we caught this pig 50 feet from this guy's back porch where his kids walk out, and doing stuff like that, it's just crazy because, I mean, me and my pack, we fight, we fight battles that people in the city don't know about. We're literally protecting households and farmlands and, livestock. So it's fun. So I'm just, bringing that war to the public, letting it be known too. So it's fun. As a 10-year-old kid, seeing a pit bull run by and hit a pig's got to be one of the coolest things that's ever happened to him. So
nice. It's always a good idea to help when you can, and it's a good way of helping, because without you, maybe those damn pigs had already taken over. Right? So you're being a hero, sir. I salute you. But I was gonna ask something, but I completely forgot.
Well, I think while you're gathering your thoughts, I kind of wanted to talk a little bit about Boar-Bane, about the Boar-Bane universe, about why the boars are, why they become this plague. Because I think that was kind of the brilliant part of it, because I'm a big sci-fi, or not sci-fi and science nerd when it comes to
You're just
storytelling. Well, I wear that with pride. I am a nerd. But basically, we're talking about the parallels that you're kind of drawing here with your storytelling, because when we talk about mutations and genetics and things like that, pigs are very close to humans. I mean, that's the reason why we have. I don't mean that in we look like pigs or pigs look like humans. It's that from a genetic standpoint, we have a lot of things that are very common. So, but in the Boar-Bane universe, yes. So basically, we see a lot of heart valves. We see a lot of skin grafts. These are things that are done today that are for lack of a better word, that are kind of harvested or kind of utilized by having pigs. And I think that that when you talk about this, I think you even had it in your opening statement about opening intro to Boar-Bane issue 2
on chapter 2. Yes, sir.
Yeah, talking about genetics. Now, I don't want to spoil it, but maybe you can just elaborate in terms of it's not complete fantasy. There's real world applications.
No, there's real science behind it. I mean, because you said it, Gerald. I mean, we're using transplants from pigs for, like you said, skin graft, hearts. I don't know, just tracheas, just stuff like that. And if we have that down to a perfect science, where we're really comfortable with using pig parts to save human lives, what's the next step? And I think the next step would be for amputees, for pigs to be used for growing actual human limbs. And so that's what Boar-Bane expands on, is those good intentions gone wrong. I mean, so So in Boar-Bane, it talks about how domestic pigs can, they're good for organ transplants, but they can't handle the transformation for human parts. They're just dying. So, but feral pigs have adapted to everything they've ever encountered. So the scientists switched to feral pigs to grow these human limbs, and it works successfully. But the modifications start going backwards, and the pigs start transforming into, a humanoid creature themselves, and then basically all hell breaks loose. So Jack and his team are just kind of trying to get to the bottom of that and seeing, why this even happened, how were they released, and, how can they put a stop to it? So it's very, very fiction, but it is on scientific, facts. So it's fun to expand on those and twist them to our, to our wicked ways.
Yeah, don't mess with Mother Nature, right? It's like
exactly.
God created them like the way they are, right?
Yep. Yeah, keep the Roy Mercado just said obviously this universe don't have Filipinos because Filipinos can cook a dish out of anything.
What's up, Roy Mercado?
Yeah, Roy.
You got some Filipino friends in here.
Yeah, that is so true because
why are you still awake, Roy?
But yeah, I think that's
Denmark,
so funny.
y'all are pork eaters in Denmark.
Yeah, what? Yeah, we eat pork. We eat all kinds of pork, all parts of the pig as well in Denmark.
Oh, yeah.
So there's apparently no Danes and no Filipinos in your comics because else that wouldn't have been a problem.
No, you cannot go to a Filipino.
God, that comment made me laugh.
Yeah, no Filipino get together would be complete without lechon. So you should actually make you need to make some sort of character called lechon. And you can make it sound like French. It's lechon. Lechon, and you can I don't know. I can see all sorts of he can be serious but kind of like a comic relief. I don't know, because I know that Marius is this is another fun fact I'm going to share here. Marius is proficient in how many languages? Like five languages?
No. Just three.
Just three. Just three.
Just three.
I think you were thinking of me there.
Right. Rick is proficient in like 7 languages, I think. But
6 almost. I mean, if gibberish counts, then 7.
Okay. But Marius is French. He likes French, the language, and I think les
and the women.
And the women,
yeah. Oui.
Just kidding.
But don't kid. I mean, French girls are fine as long as you don't have to talk to them.
Oh.
I think you just alienated our French fan base here.
Oh yeah, because that's a big fan base.
It is. Even if there's just one, you just totally.
You know what? 1 second, Roy. You need to be this character in the comics. So what I'm saying right now is you go to our Comics Cast Facebook page. We got a competition where there's a chance for you to actually get in the comic.
You can be Leishun.
And if you win that, I will make Justin make sure that you get written in as Leishun.
Leishun.
Yeah,
That's
only there to eat the pigs.
Yes, exactly. He shows up. He's part of the cleanup crew. They like in John Wick when
knife and fork. He comes up with a knife and fork. I'm here to clean up.
In John Wick, they have the cleanup crew that whenever there's a mess, like like when all those assassins come after John Wick, it's like Leishun. He shows up when there's a mess, and he's like, "Yum yum," I don't know.
Justin is writing down ideas. I can tell.
Exactly.
I'm just a little creeped out by Marius's artwork here. He just.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what this is. I don't know if I should like it because he's actually managed to put in both all of the things I told him, and now I'm kind of mad at myself actually. Telling him to do this because it's scary as hell.
I'm afraid to look. I'm gonna resist the temptation to look and just sort of keep my head down and just get something done because I'm excited to see what Marius comes up with.
So Justin, quick question: did you design the characters or did you put that all on Marius?
It was just the perfect blend. So I did highly detailed each character, and then just kind of. It's the thing about Marius is we talked about this the other day. You could design characters out of toilet paper, and Marius is going to deliver. And so it's hard to push away his first concept because the first concepts that he presents to me are just amazing. So 99.9% of the time, we usually roll with the first concept that he presents to me off of my detailed description. So, but yes, there's about 10 original characters that are just, based off real dogs or real people. So it was pretty straightforward with those. But he has a lot of leeway with the scenery, a lot of the filling characters and stuff like that. That's all Marius. So, yep.
And that just shows the needed trust between writer and Marius, because you're basically giving him your child in the way of you brought it to life with your thoughts, at least thought-wise, and then you're trusting Marius to bring it even further to life. Was that easy for you? Was that easy for you to do? Did you know his skills before you even put this on him?
Well, we talked about, I'd gone through about 3 artists that were local to the Vernon, Texas area within about a 100-mile radius. So I know, and it's a little, as a creator, it can be a little bit embarrassing pitching your idea and, kind of getting shoved back in your face, getting told, hey, that's stupid or that's not going to work. So when I would present the concept to new artists, I was always a little, leery on it, but they failed. The 3 artists, they just came so short that it was, just ridiculous. And then I'd been following Marius a little bit from his For Honor artwork from the gaming page, and I just messaged him, and I was just wanting one piece done. I'd already given up on the comic at that point, and kind of gave him some artwork to see what it was about. I was gonna get some posters made just for the hog hunting, and he just blew me away. I mean, it was just amazing. So when I presented the concept of Boar-Bane to him, he fell in love with it, and he wanted to be a part of it, so the rest was history.
Well, you did lure a Filipino with pig, so of course, as that just said, they like their pig, and so you used the right bait.
That's our weakness. That is our weakness,
So you started to know each other through For Honor, which is actually also a game I play very much a lot.
Oh wow, nice.
Oh, wow.
Who's your main?
There you go.
Who's my main?
I took the question.
My main is.
Hey, let me marry. Yes.
Okay.
You're a raider.
Also, that
Raider
I am the Viking side.
Yeah. Oh, you guys always win the faction wars every single time.
Well, of course we do. We're Vikings, of course.
Oh yeah, Rick is a if you want to talk Vikings, this is the guy. This is the guy you want.
I've been raised in the Asia faith. I'm not Christian. Been raised to believe in Thor, Odin, and all that. I've studied it. I got a degree of it in school and everything. So if you ever want to start a Viking story and you need someone to edit your ideas, I'm your guy.
Okay.
That is something that I'd be interested to know more about. Yeah.
Well, hook me up when you want, man. We can talk. I will.
Sure.
I can speak forever about Nordic mythology and not be bored. You might, but I won't.
No, I don't think so. Because in my free time, I also read up on these things. I like mythology from all different cultures.
Yeah, same here. That's what got me excited about the many different cultures. I love cultures and the difference in cultures overall. So, and I believe that understand that getting to know the mythology is the best way to getting to know the culture as a whole. Because even though the mythology they followed was 1 million years ago, the culture hasn't changed that much compared to it. They still have those strong beliefs in them in the cultures and the way their cultures act.
I agree with that. Yeah.
That's very interesting.
And so that's why Rick has an authentic making battle axe in his
No, that's just because that's just because I wanted it.
Well, Rick, I'm a berserker main, and I don't know what Marius is. Marius, what was your main?
I'm a Centurion main. A Centurion can say.
Of course, you're a Centurion.
Oh, and I think I used to like you.
I feel like
and Yaro's like here.
I'm like,
he feel left out now because I started talking about video games.
Because I'm like, maybe I need to go buy For Honor. I'll be right back. I'm gonna go pick it up.
No, you can get it on Steam. You can get it on Steam right now.
Okay. Well, you know what? I hate playing multiplayer games because unless you live on that platform, you just get killed as soon as you walk into the game. So it's like I'm a campaign. I don't like to do the grind. I'd rather just I'd rather play the campaign, and that way I can go at my own pace and not get totally get my butt handed to me 10 seconds into the game.
Oh, you will.
Exactly.
Oh yeah.
No. For the For Honor campaign, it's not even easy. If you just start out. I remember when I first started out, I got my ass kicked. Yeah. And it was even.
They don't really teach you how to play it properly.
No, you get just dropped in, and it says "good fucking luck," and then it's you. I have to pull it back a little.
Yeah.
Robert Bell just wrote, "It's like a bobcat and a human step into the transportation machine from the Fly, and were merged together." yeah, I must agree. I don't see a lot of sheep yet. Oh, I mean the legs are there, and you got about 5 more minutes.
5 more minutes, okay.
Why you did this to us, Rick? Well, I only said sheep. I didn't say bobcat. It's half of this is Justin's. He could have said goat, and it would have been more similar and easier to do, and looked more alike. So it's as much Justin's fault than mine.
I can't wait to see what Marius did. I'm just sort of trying to keep my eyes off what Marius is doing, because it sounds like it's going to be crazy good.
I mean, I look at the eyes and that bobcat, which the thing is snout that makes it look like a smile. So it's like he's sitting there smiling at us sadly and really truly. And inside he's really in pain, but he's just smiling it off. I love it. Like you know that meme with the dog surrounded by fire that says "This is fine." This is basically a new and updated version of that meme. This is fine. I'm fine, and then crying on the inside. I kind of feel a little bad of what you did here, Justin. I must admit. What we did here.
It's an uncomfortable school photo.
Yeah.
Uncomfortable. Oh my gosh, I'm getting all sorts of crazy ideas in my head. He said uncomfortable.
So will you ever consider having a duck hunt in the comic?
Duck.
Isn't it called duck hunt?
Duck hunt? The duck hunt?
No, a dog.
Oh,
I don't know how to spell it.
Oh, okay.
DACHSHUN.
Is it Dachshund?
A dachshund, yeah. A wiener dog. A wiener dog.
Yeah, a wiener dog. Yeah. You need to have a wiener dog in there called Jello.
I knew you were gonna go there with that. I just knew it. Yeah.
Because then finally Jello has something to relate to a wiener.
Okay. Well then if that's gonna happen, then I think Rick needs to be a Chihuahua. Yeah.
Yeah, because I am old bark, no bite. You're right.
Yeah. Because
you're right. I'm not even offended about that. I'm not even offended about that. It's true. So time is up in a minute, guys.
A minute, okay. I'm excited to see what Marius has done.
And I completely forgot to actually interview you, Justin. This time it just went astray at the first second.
You will have plenty of opportunity when I tell you what we're gonna do for our next other challenges. So,
I didn't do this, Marius. I didn't do this. This is fine.
I'm so curious.
Yes. And you put yes. This is fine. The new and improved. Then add a single little tear. add a single little tear.
Okay.
Did you do something cute? Is that?
No, yeah.
It is.
Cute?
It is. It is. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so.
I'm like, you think so? Okay.
Oh God.
Did we set a new record? There must be some new level of artistic record that we've established.
Oh no! I feel bad for the. Oh no! I should be ashamed, but this is worse than the Wonder Dog.
Oh really? Because I went back and I looked at it, and the Wonder Woman cosplaying as Howard the Duck. I think that was a pretty good
description of what you did.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And Roy is back with Imagine Seeing Silence of the Lambs at the bottom of that. Silence of the Lambs. Yep.
Silence of the Lambs.
Poor Bobcat. And time's up.
Time is up. All right. Oh my gosh. Why you gonna put some lettering in there? This is fine. Oh my, this is the stuff of nightmares. I'm not gonna be able to sleep tonight. It's like I see the tear. Oh, what?
I mean, I can't take my eyes away.
Oh, this is classic. We need to. I don't know how we can. We have to put some sort of subspecies in Boar-Bane and sheep.
No, see, even Justin is shaking his head. No. I got a line and this crosses it.
Oh my gosh, that is so cool.
Yeah, Marius had to pull himself back and look at it and just go, "Oh, what did I do? What did I do?"
See, this is what happens when you go for 48 hours of drawing Boar-Bane straight with just coffee and no sleep. This pops into your mind. And the tear is just
perfect.
It's by Rick's request to put the tear in.
Okay.
And I think it makes the piece complete. Really,
it does.
It's the.
It's like you should put it like if it was like a tattooed tear, and like he always has that tear on it. So anyway, I am totally. I cannot say that I'm not totally floored by yet another Marius creation here. So very, very, very cool. So
I mean, yeah, the art is great. The subject is sad.
No,
it's not the art. It's not the creation and the art itself. It's just the subject. It's just.
This is definitely a new bar for Comics Cast. Let it out. We need to move to our next thing, but I'm going to show you mine real quick.
I was about to say, yeah. No, I was about to say, show yours first.
Oh, okay. So,
whoa!
I kind of made him a sheep ram.
Oh, that's cool.
And I look at this, and me being a big Star Wars nerd, he kind of
it does look
like a tauntaun.
Yeah.
So I think the tauntauns have like 4 nostrils versus 2. I don't remember exactly, but it was kind of fun. And here I thought Marius was gonna go deep with like some sort of like crazy chimera monster looking thing. Instead, he did go deep.
He did go crazy.
He did. But anyway, that was a really, really fun challenge. I totally enjoyed that, and we're gonna keep on moving along. We got to keep on going. So our next challenge. Okay, so we got 2 more to go. Oh, did we lose Marius? Oh, Marius, where did you go?
Did we make him sad? No, he did mention about internet problems, right?
Oh, okay. Well, I guess we're gonna have to wait a little bit to get him back on here, because what would be a drawing challenge without our guest artist? So, Rick,
you can just draw yourself.
Oh, true. I guess I could do that. Or hey, Rick, you can draw. You're an artist.
I could.
How about we draw Justin?
How about you pay me first?
I pay you. It's not about the pay. It's about the love. Remember that.
You say that, but I need to pay.
All right, and this was Rick's last show because he's all about the pay, and I got no money. So we're to me, I get paid in like getting to meet these creators. Man, we lost Marius. Justin,
he'll be back. I mean, how about you? I know you do this in the very end, man. But now that we don't know where actually to go. Why go? Why not do that now?
Do what at the end? Or
what we usually do at the end, just while we have this break.
Oh, okay. Well, that's kind of like our last. We don't want to like break tradition. I'll keep that in. Let's talk to Justin a little bit here. We got him on here. We got.
We have the artwork from the.
Right. Do you have any props? Do you have any artwork you want to? You
no, just the from FR.
Oh, FR. Somebody drew along. Is that what you're saying?
No? I'll message you.
Okay. Yeah. Let me see. Let me go there. Falling Rock. That's right. Yeah, we got. I want to save that to like at the end because that's our what do you call it? That's what we want to show at the end to make sure that.
How about we show some of Justin's art, some of Justin's IG and stuff like that.
Well, that's what we're going to talk about in terms of. You talking about his IP? You talking about? Well, we have a special reveal for the last draw. That's the reason why I wanted to wait until the end. That's why we're doing 4. Man, I really hate that we lost Marius here.
Yeah, Philippines.
Yeah, that's the thing. I think there was a typhoon that went through the Philippines. Was it last week, Justin? I don't remember. I remember a lot of the Filipino artists that I follow. A lot of them had that Facebook marked safe from this typhoon. Oh, we got Marius. Okay, here we go.
So it's
Marius.
It was not typhoon, and no pigs came and hunted him down.
I know. It's like
all the blame goes to my ISP. Oh my God, they're providing incredibly bad service.
Oh, okay.
So I apologize for that.
That's okay.
Is it the same ISP that Daryl have?
You know what?
If they were doing it in the US too, then I don't know.
Okay. Well, it's good that you came back because Rick was about ready to like break into like some interpretive dance coupled with some music, some singing.
Oh my God, I would have wanted to see that.
In ancient Viking traditions as well. But
and without pants, so it's good.
Okay, we're gonna leave it like that.
Hopefully with underwear.
Yeah.
What's underwear?
It's okay.
What's that? What's underwear?
All right. Okay, so getting back on track, Marius, go ahead and get your if you can get your art cam back or your art.
Oh yeah.
Get that back up. That's okay. Go ahead.
About that.
I want to introduce our third drawing challenge, and and oh my God, just in case you forgot. So,
you need to send me this, Marius. I want it.
Yeah.
Sure. You got it.
He's gonna put it next to his nightstand or on his nightstand, so he sees that at night.
This is gonna be my next profile picture.
Exactly. All right, so let's keep the Podunk Marius train running. So let's go into our third challenge. So our third challenge is compliments of Marius, because Marius, we talked a little bit about his his creative process and like what he tries to do with his in his own style. But we wanted to go also into like some of the things that inspired him. And one of the things that inspired him, he mentioned this in the last Let It Out, was Berserk. For those of you guys who don't know who or what Berserk is, it's a manga, it's an anime, it's a force of nature. I think if you read it, you will know what we're talking about in terms of like the kind of complex storytelling and the characters themselves. Yeah. So Rick, have you heard of Berserk?
I freaking love Berserk.
Oh my God! Yes, yes.
So you got definitely a fan, a mutual fan here with
who you gonna paint the obvious choice, or you're gonna go
no
a little special?
Well, I'm gonna let Marius.
I'm gonna go with the second obvious choice.
Okay. So Marius, tell us who we're gonna draw, and while we're drawing this character, you can tell us a little bit about why we're like Berserk in terms of how it's impacted you, and then I'll let Rick kind of like pick up that ball once you throw it. So Rick, let's start the clock, and it's gonna be who's gonna be Marius.
All right, so we will be drawing. Wait, let me write it down.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. So let's see how this goes.
Okay. All right. So that the clock is ticking right now, and Marius, tell us a little bit.
It's already ticking.
Yeah.
All right. So I am a huge fan of Berserk. I actually have 4 of the Dark Horse volumes with me right now, and it's just absolutely fantastic. I'm missing the 3rd one, like the middle one, for some reason, because they don't have it available at where I'm buying my books at. But yeah, I decided to choose Griffith because he's a good example of what we artists, I guess, and writers too, creators pretty much, should try to avoid being. Because he has this fantastic story about always struggling to find that dream of his, to attain something that he pretty much was not allowed when he was in his youth. And so that's pretty much his arc, the entire, I mean, not the entire, most of Berserk, when he's just trying to chase something that he wasn't given, and he proves himself capable of achieving that dream of his. But the thing is, if the dream is the only thing that you have in mind, then things could take their turn for the worse. And that's something that Berserk proves quite constantly to be very, very horrific when it comes to its results. And so I'm a fan of both the main protagonist and the villain, because it shows the polar opposite of how we can interpret the good guy and the bad guy in a story, or pretty much in real life. How we can end up looking up towards people who show us the way towards our dream, while actually destroying us and turning us into darker versions of ourselves. And so that's something that I try to keep in mind, because I think I relate heavily to what Kentaro Miura has done with his story. Not the murdering part and the demon part.
Not that. Okay.
Not that. Yeah, not that. But the internal conflict part. The part where you have to know who you are, because that's a huge aspect of Guts' journey, when he was trying to figure out his own dream, and that's what attached him to Griffith, and that's what attached Griffith to Guts. That concept of being equal, of finding that other person who would really try and showcase the best out of you. But the thing is, they, as the story goes, they really didn't end up bringing the best out of each other.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, they ended up bringing the worst out of each other. And so I relate greatly to that, and because if some of you might know from watching the previous comics cast where I was at, and to those of you following my story on my Facebook and my Instagram, to the people who have been supporting me, some of you might know my background is that I have always been an artist, but just at home, really, just with my notebooks and all of those things. But it wasn't really a profession. In fact, it being a profession was something that was pushed away from me, similar to how Griffith's kingdom, because that's what he was trying to aim for, was pushed away from him. And so I relate heavily to that and the aspect of wanting to get somewhere. But what I noticed over the past 2 years, I guess, 1 to 2 years of turning this artistic field of mine into an actual profession, is that it has its days when sometimes you're just obsessed with the art, that you don't think of anything else but the art. And I feel that it leads me into a quite unhealthy direction, and I don't want my dream or my art to consume me, and that I still be able to maintain my humanity, essentially, when it comes to talking to other people, to relating with people, and to knowing that I'm not alone when it comes to this journey, that there are people out there who will be willing to help me. There are people out there who will be willing to take me down, and that I should be wise enough to know the difference between the two. And I should be wise enough to know that, to make the right decisions, and to be aware that I'm not transforming into a worse version of myself. And that's why I decided to choose Guts. That's why I decided to choose Griffith in this live stream, because I think he tells that story quite beautifully. And that if you look at the memes, I'm actually following this meme page on Facebook. Griffith did nothing wrong,
Yeah.
where or a lot of people actually, I think a lot of people side with Griffith, and they think that he really did nothing wrong, that he was just trying to really prove himself worthy of things. But the thing is, sure, he was doing that, but at the same time, he was stepping on the very people who helped him get up there, even if they were considerably lower than him when it comes to status and skill and everything. And I've come to realize that even if you are more skilled than some people, don't look down on other people. It's not your place to do that. Even if they were able to lift you up to a certain degree, you still have to respect them. And that's what Griffith forgot. And reading his story, I want to remember that always. I want to remember to keep myself in line and to keep myself respecting people as they have respected me and helped me to where I am, whether that's something that's happened in the past or something that will happen with people that I haven't met yet. And I admire Griffith because of the story he tells, but I also despise Griffith because of the character that he's turned into. And he's a very good warning to everybody not to end up that way. So that's just my take on the story.
So Justin, is that not a sell for like why you should like check out this book?
Oh yeah.
You have to read the book?
No, I haven't yet. No, I haven't. I've seen enough people talk about it. I have to get my hands on it. So it's might be one of the most popular things out there right now. So
it's been.
I know I'm missing out. I'll get my hands on it.
It is very popular, and it has been for a very long time. I mean, I think it's one of those books that just will stand beyond time, and it will just continue to be popular, even though how old it gets, because of how basic the story is in the ways that, but told in such a different way, beautiful way, as Marius explained. Griffith's fight is kind of basic. We can all see that in ourselves in one way or the other, but the way it's written makes it just that more beautiful, that more impactful, and it's just a beautiful book. Even the anime is beautiful.
Absolutely. Especially the movie adaptations. Like, they were really done fantastically. Plus the music. I love how Guts' theme really isn't a rock and roll theme, despite him being a rock and roll character.
Yeah.
It's one of the most sorrowful, melancholic pieces that I actually listen to it whenever I draw. That's how inspiring.
So do I.
Wow,
I listen to it so much myself when I work, because it's almost all on all of my Spotify playlists. Even if I listen to my heavy metal playlist, it's there, because why not? Don't tell me what to do, Spotify. I'll listen to it whenever I want.
Man, I feel really shallow because when I'm drawing, I listen to K-pop.
I do too. You're not the only one, Gerald.
Okay,
I've been listening to Everglow.
Okay, I just want to make sure. It's like, man, he's like, we were talking about Baroque, and we were talking about like melancholy and something. So I was like, gosh, have I been listening to the wrong music? Because I want to draw like Marius. I got to listen to like Baroque and like, you know, the sad songs, but you know. But I feel better knowing that you listen to K-pop too. Because
as long as you listen to music that inspires you to keep drawing, I think that's the important part. Even if it is K-pop or Kardashian or whatever.
Kardashian. So
wait, is Kardashian a musician? I don't even know.
I don't know.
I don't think so.
I don't think so either. So while we're talking about like musical inspiration, Justin, what do you listen to music, or do you need to keep your head completely free from any type of stimulus while you're writing? Is there something that you
No, I listen to a lot of music. I pretty much listen to everything out there, from, you know, classical rock, you know, death metal, just anything, you know, mostly rock. It's mostly rock, but some
rock. Yeah.
We have what we call red dirt country music here where I'm from, so I listen to a lot of the red dirt country. But I love the classical stuff, and I think there's probably been about 5 illustrations that Marius has done for me, and I'll say, hey, will you please listen to this while you're illustrating this piece? You know, it's kind of the feel. So I do connect a lot of the pieces that Marius illustrates to songs. So music is very important to me.
So do I. I combine music with what I draw and or paint as well, because it helps inspire me. So if I have to draw something sad for a customer, I have special music for that. I choose sadder music, and if I have to draw something fun and upbeat, I choose fun and upbeat music. So music is really a great big part of what I for how my art turns out. Is it the same for you, Marius? Do you listen to special music compared to what you do?
I often listen to special music when I'm a bit frustrated with what I'm doing. When I'm a bit unsure if I'm, because you know that feeling that the image is actually complete in your head, but then every single stroke that you do goes counter to that image. Like it's so frustrating that sometimes listening to a certain music or even like rewatching a certain thing that helped inspire that piece really gets me into the mood, and then I suddenly realize, oh, this is what I should have been doing. This is what I should have approached this piece as, something like that. But when I'm like relaxed, I just listen to what I'd like to listen to.
Yeah, I totally have to have music to kind of like get me. It's almost funny because it's like it's programmed into you. It's like if you ever get into like the zone, you kind of remember what that music was when you got there, because that way you can kind of like recreate it. And I find that to be more and more like as I'm drawing, I find that when I have that music playing, it's almost like it's like the baseball players. They'll do this ritual before they go out, or like sports figures. They'll wear like the lucky shirt, or they'll have their lucky glove, or they'll do something with their hat or something like that as a ritual. It's almost like music is kind of like that thing. It kind of like makes your head get reset to like whatever you're doing. And I find that to be one of the best exercises you can do before you actually start. It's kind of like equivalent to like a warm up. To have that music playing in the background.
Yeah. I mean, I personally can have a hard time to drawing or painting, or if I listen to music with lyrics to it, because for some reason when people are singing, it distracts me just enough for me to be 100% into the art, because a part of my brain wants to translate what they're singing, even though I really don't want to listen to it so much. So I have to listen to music that doesn't have lyrics to it to really get
Wardruna. I like Wardruna.
Oh, I love Wardruna. I love it. We got good taste, you and I. We like Berserk, we like For Honor, we like Wardruna. We almost are we best friends yet?
I don't know.
I know. Just look out what's going to show up in your inbox, Marius. You want to make sure that you don't know what Rick might come up with.
No, I usually ask for content first.
Okay, yeah.
Usually, that doesn't go for you, Gerald. You just have to look and like.
Yeah, exactly. So, let's talk a little bit more about Griffith, because Griffith has this look about him too. It's almost like a androgynous kind of look to him.
Yeah.
Would you like to like maybe talk about like your own interpretation of why he looks the way that he does, and because you obviously thought a lot about Berserk and the character, the characters in it. Do you have a you want to delve into that a little bit in terms of like what he represents and his look?
Like my own theory about it?
Yeah. Well, anything. I mean, I think it's just one of those things. I mean, it's a conversational topic.
I got my own theory as well, so I'm anxious to hear yours, Marius.
Okay.
I think he's kind of like the representation. This is just me. I really don't know what the exact specifications are when Kentaro Miura wrote this, but for me, I think he's a good sign. Again, going back to the thing that I said about comparing ourselves to the characters, is that he's the representation of, kind of going to something like Jordan Peterson when he talks about chaos and order, and how he says that women are sort of like the order of things, and then men represent the chaos, if I'm not mistaken, something like that. And so Griffith being somewhat androgynous or somewhat female represents the order that he'd like to have with everything, and pretty much represents the order that we have within ourselves, while Guts, on the other hand, represents the chaos, the want to sort of change things and make them better. And that's why he's so macho and masculine. Because what I know about Berserk is that after watching tons of video essays about it, is that Berserk is pretty much inspired by Nietzsche, like and all of those writings by Dostoevsky, and those Russian literature about the internal self and the conflict. And that there was even this video essay that pretty much compared points from those philosophies into story structures and story arcs within the comic book itself. So I was like surprised that this is much deeper than I had expected it to be. And so that's my assessment for why Griffith looks kind of male and kind of female. But I think it's also an indication of how even the most innocent looking of us has some very dark parts of them. Because I particularly love when Kentaro Miura draws Griffith in this kind of childlike look, when he's being playful, when he's being so just throwing water and playing puddles and all of that. And if you look at such a person like that, you'd think this guy can't harm anybody else. But then the exact opposite happens when the story kicks into full gear. And you're like, and I think it's a good warning again to always be mindful of who you're talking to, because you don't fully know them. The same way that the Band of the Hawk didn't fully know who Griffith was, even though it was right there in front of their faces the entire time. And so maybe that's why Kentaro Miura drew Griffith to be so gentle looking, to be so attractive, to be so to take the words from who's this guy, the guy who was throwing daggers. What's his name?
I forgot. You know it better than I do. but
yeah, he used the word charismatic. It's his charisma. Yeah. Like a lot of people don't know why they were following Griffith, but they did. And so I think representing him in such a manner really adds to that story. Like, because I read another interview about Kentaro Miura where he said that he doesn't put the dialogue in until the pages are finished. And so he's a very visual storyteller. He really tells his story through art first, and then after through dialogue. And so I guess that's why he portrayed Griffith in such a way, to really convey that trustworthy sense in him. And then after several chapters in, break that trust and really make you swallow the trust. Yeah. Like that's my interpretation of it.
Sticks a knife in you and it's like makes you think,
oh no, he doesn't stick a knife in you. He sticks a tractor in you and he grinds you deep down. That's the kind of thing that he does. And he makes you swallow your tongue and your bowels at the same time.
Oh my gosh. That just put a very interesting visual in my head. But yeah, I just think that he literally disarms you with his look.
Guys, time is up on that note.
Time is up. Okay. All right.
Once again, I was a little nice with the time.
Look at that, and Rick, you'll have to tell the story about about your idea.
No, Marius just did it.
Yeah. Oh, so you agree? You agree?
Yeah, almost completely. I would just add the word purity into it all as well, because that's what Griffith is, in my opinion. He's just the basic definition of purity, where God is not. Again, polar opposite, and in Griffith's actions as well, even if you look into them closer, there are some pure intentions, completely pure intentions behind everything he does. Whereas God's is a bit more chaotic and more on the spot thinking.
Yeah. Well, I think that just shows the duality of just human nature, and I think that that's the good thing about storytelling, is that you don't ever want to have the flawless hero or the completely. Well, I guess there are completely evil villains and things like that, but I think that that's what we're going. What Justin is bringing to the table with Boar-Bane's characters, and of course we're going to talk about some other new characters.
Those pigs are all evil.
Those pigs are all evil. I don't know. Maybe there is, or are they? I was going to say maybe there's some.
We don't know.
Yeah, we don't know. That's why you got to read the book. You got to get the book.
You got to pick up the book, guys. Come on.
So I love that. I love what you did, Marius. You continue to amaze me. Just incredible. And I think that's the color too. Is that one of the things about Griffith, he's always depicted as like so angelic, and he's like cast in white, and his hair is flowing, and he's, like I said, he's angelic. So I think it's like he literally will disarm you with his looks, because he doesn't look like this person that could destroy you, And here's mine. Rick surprised me. So I kind of had this. This is my version of of Griffith, I kind of made him look like he's almost looks like he has a little bit of a haughty expression where he's looking down on you.
I also like it that you Western made the look a little more Western comic than he is, and made it your own style even more than you might have been done. I really like it. It looks really good.
Yeah, I just Berserk has made an impact on me too. I haven't read as the entire story yet, but definitely what I have read was definitely intriguing. And every character is not what they are on the surface. You really see. We talk about hero's journey. We talk about.
It's brilliant. It's brilliant. Yeah. It's brilliant writing. Sorry to interrupt you, but it really is. It is top-notch writing for a quote-unquote comic.
Mm-hmm. And I really I encourage people to check it out. But before you check out Berserk, you got to check out Boar-Bane. So that's all you got to do.
That's also really great writing, boys.
Yes, exactly. And I think that once Justin reads it, he's gonna come back on the show and go. It's just gonna go.
Yeah, right.
You're totally right. Okay, so we are. We're getting to our fourth challenge because I really wanted to do this because I want to circle back around to what's the future of Podunk Comics and Marius. In terms of what they're going to be doing. And Marius, I'm going to put you a little bit on the spot before I start talking about it because for some reason I must have misplaced the artwork, and I want you to go ahead and get ready to show that artwork again. And I know Rick is going to chime in and say how unprofessional I am, but things like this happen. Good work, Jared. I could go get it, but I want Marius to be the arbiter of this great concept that we're going to share with you.
You'll get a round of applause from me.
Okay. All right, so Marius, let me know when you're ready, because I want. Just
okay.
If you can find those three concepts that you had, that you showed me, and I they're just buried in the chat. I just need to make sure where I put it. So when you're ready, I'm going to hand it back over to Justin, and he can talk a little bit about who this surprise character is, this new property, this new IP, an original character that they're going to introduce with Podunk. All
right, let me see.
Okay.
Give me a few seconds.
Yeah. Go ahead and do that.
Awesome.
I don't know where I feel like my computer is just in disarray right now. Yeah. Yes, I was looking through Messenger, but I have to keep on scrolling up because we had such great conversations going on there. But anyway, that'll just get you primed up, Justin, because I know that you have a lot to tell about this particular character, and we actually got a little bit of a hint of who this character is from
in chapter 2.
In chapter 2, when we showed the that scene of Tango when he's doing his gladiatorial combat scene, and we showed those pictures of Justin that were in the background. Well, there's a little bit of an Easter egg too that's going towards this particular character. So Rick is already getting a little excited. Control yourself, Rick.
I love Easter eggs.
Okay, all right. So we're gonna go add this to the stream and look at this. Oh shoot.
Oh damn.
Okay, all right. So before we get to drawing, I'm gonna hand the mic over to you, Marius and Justin. Justin, you take us first in terms of who this is.
Right.
And then we'll go from there.
This story's about. This is something I've had with me since I was probably 3 or 4 years old, and it's actually inspired from my mom. Her father, who's passed away, would take them anywhere from California all the way to Florida, and they would travel and camp in mountainous areas. And there was always a sign that they would see, and the sign was "Watch for fallen rock." So in these mountainous areas, it was obviously a clue to watch out for, fallen rock, debris, and stuff like that. But her dad told her that it was a warning to watch for fallen rock. He was a crazed Indian that would kidnap and murder kids that left the campsite.
Yes.
So it was his way.
I love it.
So it was his way of keeping all the kids in the campsite and stirring away, because watch for fallen rock. So it's a story that I've had in my brain since I was, 4 or 5 years old. So I'm going to expand on it. So in my story, fallen rock is an Indian. The origin of the story will take place in the early 1800s during the French and Indian War. Basically, fallen rock he's about every dad, every good man that I know. This is a story for them. And I just want to showcase, how far would a dad go for his family, his wife, his kids, and when pushed too far, how far we truly willing to go to sacrifice for our family. And in our story, Fallen Rock gets literally everything that could possibly be imagined just ripped away from him, and he's has to make a deal with some people, and he has to fight to take back everything that he loves. So you're gonna hop in with that and see the deal that he has to make, and see how far he's willing to go, see how far he's willing to kill.
Just great. So Marius, hearing that description
did you just change the colors there, or did I see something wrong? You did. You made him darker. No. Yes, you did.
Made him darker. What are you talking about?
No, the light around him darker, and his eyes started glowing.
Oh yeah, there you go.
See?
So you're like trying to pull a fast one there on Rick. He thought he was hallucinating. So I know a little bit, and I don't want to talk too much about it without because I don't want to give away the things. But I guess we'll leave it like that. Justin, you've told all that you want to say about. Okay, good.
Well, I mean, we can talk more about it. We can talk more.
Well, Gerald, did you hear this? Yeah, stop talking.
No.
Should I show the third image?
Yes. I mean,
yeah.
Justin, what do you feel? You want to show?
There was a part that Justin talked about when there's a certain deal or something. So I took cues from that, and then I decided. I thought, what kind of effects would a deal have on a person? And so what you see right now with his glowing eyes is part of those effects. And so this is him in his normal form, everyday form. But when he's hunting your ass down, this is what he's going to look like at night. That's the last thing you're going to see before you get your neck slit or something like that.
It's those predator eyes.
It's those predator eyes. But then when you see him just really go, pardon the word, berserk, when he goes berserk, this is what you're going to see.
Oh, wow.
Notice the shoulder. And
you, there's a lot of detail, but you make it look so subtle, but it's still just enough for everybody to see what changes, and it's really really lovely. I love it. The simple change in the hair color and the eyes, and did the color of the face paint even change?
Yes, it did.
Yeah.
So as you can see, his original colors are red, black, and white. So the paint that he has on his face is the face paint of a mourning man. So that's the color indication provided, and the colors are red, black, and white. I don't know the reason for red, black, and white. I think Justin knows the reason for that. But then when the devil takes over or the deal takes over, everything just becomes black and red.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
And it goes back, Fallen Rock, he's a Cheyenne dog soldier. So they're, Cheyenne dog soldiers are actually still used today in the military, U.S. military, kind of discreetly. But Cheyenne dog soldiers were the Navy SEALs of the American Indian nations. They were just the elite of the elite. They were the best of the best. When you seen a Cheyenne dog soldier walk through an encampment, you knew that he was the baddest man within 100 miles. So these guys were all, they didn't play around. They were deadly. They were committed to their tribes, and they were the reason at the Fall of the Little Bighorn. I think there was over 500 dog soldiers at that battle. So that's why that battle was so successful. But like Marius was saying, he was forced to make a deal with the devil. So you're going to see Indian culture clash with American religion. You're going to see two religions clash and kind of intertwine, and you're going to see the effects of it. And I think one of the worst things that could happen to a man is gifted with immortal life, but be forced to walk eternity, watching everybody around you grow old or die, and you not be able to do anything about it. So Fallen Rock is the good guy losing, and the good man being pushed too far for his family, and just you're going to see how far a man can go for his family and how far he's willing to kill. And Podunk Comics, I want people to pick up the comics and just be teary-eyed and so uncomfortable with it that they have to stop reading it. When they get to page 10, I want them to say, man, I can't go any further. I can't see what happens. And I want them to come back, back to it 2 or 3 days later once their emotions caught back up with them and just finish the story. So Fallen Rock will be uncomfortable. It's going to hit on religion, suicide, murder, death. There's just going to be so much going on in Fallen Rock that I'm excited to get it illustrated and written.
It reminds me
written and illustrated.
The story reminds me a little of another Indian tale of that also been made into a movie called The Crow.
Oh, you're talking about the The Crow with Brandon Lee. Yeah. And you know what?
It has some resemblances right there, and that was the first thing I thought that. And that was also based on an Indian tale. So,
well, I tell you what, let's continue this conversation. I want Rick to kind of pick Justin's brain, and of course, Marius. I want you to kind of. I loved how you just sort of showed some of your build-up in terms of like how you develop this character.
Yeah, now you do it, Carol. Now you've seen how Marius does it. Now you do it.
That's a tall order. I don't know if I can do that. But yeah, let's continue this conversation because we want to start the clock on this and allow Justin and Marius to kind of give us a little bit without giving away things, because this character is still in development, and this is going to be the next IP original character that you're going to see from under the Podunk banner, but you get to see it first here on Comics Cast. And so let's draw Falling Rock and take it away. Tell us, go ahead and begin your little interview process there.
So yeah, going back to that, it reminds me of the Crow and the Indian, the folk tale of a man so bound on revenge that the spirits returns his spirit to his body to avenge his family and his true love.
Right.
Well, is the resemblance just a coincidence, or do you think?
No, I'm a big fan of the Crow and the Punisher and Ghost Rider and stuff like that, and it's like, but I'm a huge fan of Native American culture as well, and he's going to be a little bit more vigilante than the Crow was. He's going to be a little bit more superhero. Go ahead.
I just wanted to we lost Marius's drawing cam.
My Photoshop crashed.
Okay. Just go ahead and talk, Justin.
I'm gonna reshare it again.
Yeah, right. So go ahead, keep on going. Go ahead.
Yeah, so it has the resemblances, but you wanted to bring it even further than just being.
Yeah, it's not.
Yeah.
No, this one's not necessarily a story on revenge. It's as much as it is a story on protection and basically, the French and Indian War, their effect with the Native Americans and their manipulation of the tribes and the promises and stuff that they, put up for the American, for the American Indian tribes, and how they basically just didn't keep up their end of the bargain. And basically Fallen Rock's going to, be the middle of that. He's going to, have his, he's going to influence a lot of the Native American wars that other countries are involved with on American soil. So you're going to see how they manipulate Fallen Rock, twist him and, make him do things that he's not comfortable doing, all for the protection of his family. So, I think a lot of the Native American people they're very kind-hearted and they're very honorable. So Fallen Rock is honorable. So he's not necessarily a serial killer, but he's just a guy that thinks he's doing right to protect his family. So he's going to do everything in his power to make sure that, it stays on track that way. And then there's going to be some American Fountain of Youth. The Fountain of Youth is involved with it. And it's, the devil's tied to Earth, and he's basically, Fallen Rock has to protect that Fountain of Youth. And it's just a cool. So there's your story arc. There's some different stuff, way different from the Crow. So it's going to be awesome.
Sure. Oh, I wasn't saying that, pointing fingers and say, hey, this is too much to Crow, because from the start it wasn't, but it just had those nice resemblances. And who doesn't like the Crow story, right? So you're saying I'm gonna just nitpick a little bit of this, little bit of that to make my own. That's what everybody does these days, right? Except for the whole Boar-Bane thing you came up with making dogs the heroes in such a way that I've never seen that before. So what you do is you take something that everybody knows, everybody loves, everybody recognizes, and then you just twist it to make it your own. And that's usually how a great comic book goes.
Oh yeah.
Knowing what people wants and likes, and just make it your own.
Well, I think the difference with Falling Rock is that he's, and I think he talked about the whole Fountain of Youth and the pact with the devil type thing. I mean, with the Crow, it's a little different because it's like it's vengeance, and I don't think that originally that's what Falling Rock's about, right? He's not all about vengeance. He's
that's what Justin just said earlier.
Yeah.
Oh. If you were listening,
well, I was drawing.
While I was, if you were listening while I was doing the interview,
okay, go.
You would have heard it.
Sorry. Go on.
Gosh, I'm sorry, Justin. I'm sorry that you have to go through with this guy. I mean, I try. I really try.
No, but to kind of expand on the synopsis, the Fountain of Youth is the symbolism in that it's the devil's tie to Earth, and she really relies on that Fountain of Youth to keep, for souls, and it's her connection to the mortal plane. So Fallen Rock's in charge of not only protecting it but providing, the sacrifices for that to keep her youth and her connection on Earth. So he thinks he's doing a good thing. He's being manipulated, and you'll just learn about his discovery of that and all the enemies and allies that he comes in contact with. Because what you'll find out that the devil's made this pact 100 times over a millennia. So you're going to meet some other characters that, maybe have come in contact with her and made some similar pacts, and, and it's just like anybody that has wife and kids, you'll make deals with the devil just to keep them safe, and whatever you think's best for your family, you're going to do that. And that's all he's doing.
I like that a lot. I really like that a lot. And you said it's going to take place in around when?
It's going to be the early 1800s, the French and Indian War, and so, and then hopefully it'll meet up into modern times. So you're going to learn a little bit from his origin until how he makes it to modern times.
Oh, nice! I'm looking forward to that. I have a little story myself going on that I write in my spare time that also involve Indians and Vikings. So I'm always excited for learning more about Indians personally. So I try and take everything I can get. And will this also be a part of the Boar-Bane universe, or will it be a universe of its own?
That's yet to be seen, Rick.
Yes.
Yet to be seen. Okay. Well, I didn't get the scoop, guys. I'm sorry. I tried.
No.
I came here wanting the scoops, and I failed. Sorry, guys. You'll just have to read it and follow it and watch on. But it is right.
You're not gonna pull it out of him. But yeah, I think it's.
He is a Cheyenne dog soldier.
There you go. There's your hint.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's what was I was thinking that you said as soon as you said dog soldier, I said, okay, he's gonna be a bad guy and kill all the dogs, and so all the boars win. I spoiled it. Sorry.
Well, we talked a little bit about him being the Fountain of Youth. These are hints. These are things that I'm not spoiling anything. Fountain of Youth.
Yeah.
He is immortal, and Boar-Bane is in the not too distant future, and then this is the French and America, the French and Indian War.
Boar-Bane is set in 2021.
So that's next year.
Next year, we're gonna have boars running around.
Next year, the pigs are taking over.
Yes, exactly. They're gonna exploit it.
Not the Terminators, the pigs.
Yes. So there's your clue. There's your clues. But yeah, Marius, you want to expand on a little bit about what like the creative direction that Justin gave to you and how you came up with the looks?
Well, we're currently in the early stages of it, so I wouldn't call anything quite final. Even the illustrations that you saw, they're merely representative of how we see Falling Rock right now. But then with the progression of the story and, of course, with the development of things, a lot of these changes could be either really minor or really significant, depending on where the story will be directed. And, of course, looking at what Justin just said, he's been alive for millennia, and he will be alive for millennia. And so we will see what kind of things happen to a man over that progression. And so I really don't know where we could be taking it, or what kind of looks he will have, but that's sort of the vibe that we're trying to come across right now, to just keep on inventing him until we get to the final look that would really fit the story that Justin is building.
Right. And, Rick, it's gonna expand on the religion from both the Native American tribes, and the Cheyenne culture, and is, with, I say Eastern, religion with, Christ and stuff like that. So you're going to just see really two cultures clash in a unique way. And I think it's going to be, awesome to see which one, can come up on top, or if they can have a perfect blend for each other.
I love that. I love that way too much because, as I said, the story I'm writing myself, it's kind of doing the same with my Vikings meeting Indians. So that whole idea fascinates me, of letting cultures meet and trying to see it from the point of view of people that believed in that faith, rather than seeing it from the point of view of the gods themselves with that faith, as other comics have done. You getting put inside that faith by following a person directly and see how he or she struggles with that when his beliefs meets another beliefs. How he or she struggles to handle that can really make for good stories. And who knows? Maybe that Indian will turn into Christianity at some point, and then he'll just be. He'll still be an Indian after all, but the story in there, and it will be interesting to see how far you can go with it. Because there's a lot of traps you can fall into with those kind of stories, where it suddenly ends up with, okay, I can't bring this any further. So you really need to tread carefully with that kind of with those kind of stories, in my opinion, at least. And I've seen it from other other comics as well, where I just said, well, okay, he went too far there.
Right. And people need to remember that, that it is fiction, because, I don't want those history buffs saying, with the French and Indian War, me getting, the battles wrong or the outcome of it. People need to remember that it is fiction. But at the end of the day, it is a way to honor, Native American tribes, and, maybe give them a true vigilante hero that they can, attach to and, in their own culture, and, give them their own Superman, give them their own Batman. Because I really don't think that a lot of Native American heroes have been done very well, just outside of, or in the comic book world anyways.
Exactly. No, the only Native American I can come to think of at the top of my head is two, and both of them. One of them is from X-Men, Thunderbird. If that's the name, and then the female from Canadian, that Canadian group, Canadian Flight, or what it's called, Alpha Flight.
Yeah.
Those are the two only ones from the top of my head I can come up with.
Well, there's also Valkyrie, Mirage from Valkyrie from the New Mutants.
I do not know New Mutants, I must admit.
Yeah, but you're right. I think this is a way to introduce some folklore. Have a positive. I think what you talked about, his Falling Rock's background, is that he definitely has some conflicts. He has some growth, and he's, his best intentions to do certain things. And we didn't go into his full stories of why he had to do that pact with the devil. But that goes to show we all are faced with choices, and it just so that his choice that he made. I like the whole. I almost feel like he's like the Native American Highlander. He's going to go through through time. He's going to go through time because he's immortal. But he's going to influence battles. He's going to and it's going to be kind of fun. It's going to see maybe he's going to be in the background of certain conflicts that are happening throughout time, going up to 2021. I think that's a kind of a neat angle.
He's going to play Assassin's Creed all by himself.
Exactly.
That's pretty much what's going to happen.
Right.
Assassin's Creed is based on him all along.
Right.
And then you'll learn about, the actual street signs, watch for Fallen Rock. You're going to realize that, they're not always in a rocky area, and it's criminals, warning each other, watch out for Fallen Rock, just be careful.
Yeah.
So,
I know.
And just imagine a criminal stand looking at the sign and then look around at flat land and then be like, what is this? And then suddenly his head just gets chopped off.
No, he sees the bobcat lamb. he sees that first, and then when he turns to the other direction, it's gonna be Falling Rock. So they're gonna come from both angles, and it's gonna be his sidekick, the bobcat lamb.
The bobcat. We want people to buy this comic. Let's get them away.
Hey! I love that character.
Your art camp disappeared, Gerald.
And then the only other, we had Mortal Kombat that has Nightwolf, and he's pretty iconic.
Oh yeah, I forgot about him.
Yeah, you're right. I love that character.
And then Suicide Squad had Slipknot, but
yeah, Gerald, your art cam was gone.
Oh no, I think my phone battery died. Well, at the end, because we're hitting a marathon, 2.5 hours. So what I'm gonna do at the end, I'm just gonna put it in front of my face cam. And I will be Falling Rock.
And I do believe you have, like, as far as I remember, like 3 minutes more or something like that.
3 minutes. Okay, you got that, Marius? We got 3 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you started. Go on. Joe, take over my job as interviewer.
No, go for it.
No, I'm done.
I need to use my 3 minutes to catch up anyway. So go for it.
Okay, so I'm just scrolling down into Marius's stuff here, and did you actually work with For Honor when it came to making art? Because the way you put it out with some of your Battlegrounds quote unquote sketches, it sounds like you had something going on with them for a time.
No, sadly, I don't have anything yet with them.
Yes.
I'm creating that. I'm creating Battlegrounds as a sort of thank you to the community, because I guess for one, Justin and I would not have been able to meet if not for the For Honor game, and a lot of my followers are from the For Honor fan base, and so I launched this event a few months ago, asking for the custom outfits of some of the players to be sent to me, and then I'd choose from them and then add them into the Battlegrounds. And so pretty much what you see there, the art that I've done, are the customs that they had sent me. And so that's what I'm drawing together into one completely huge, really huge composition. It's a painting where all of the heroes will be battling each other. And so I'm yet to finish it because I have commissions, but I am doing it on the side. And so I hope to finish it as soon as I can.
And the first thing that just hit me when I saw it was the shaman's eyes. You just hit that look perfectly. The eye of the shaman, that it was just, wow, okay. You hit that right, because he has those crazy eyes, and your way of your overall way of grabbing emotion with little detail is just, it's really good. You really are a student of this game, I can tell. Also, by the way, you're explaining your approach on art and everything. You really do study every little thing. Don't look at me,
Thank
Joe.
you. I try my best.
The Hito Fury, Rick, was the first artwork that I'd seen from him, and it was holding the Hito Fury, his artwork, where he's holding the berserker spine and skull. That was the first thing I'd seen from Marius, and I was like, yeah, this is my guy. I've got to try to get something commissioned from him.
And now you got him as your story artist. How does that feel?
Yeah.
Was that ever
surreal?
Yeah,
It's surreal. It's awesome hearing people talk about it. Lifting posters up and saying, man, this is some of the best artwork I've ever seen, looking at the posters, looking at the book, and say, yeah, there's $5. And they're like, oh, well, I'll come back around. And, it's like, come on, man, $5 for the best artwork you've ever seen. Let's go. So
$5 is cheap. If you want the cheaper, man, what's wrong with you? $5? That's almost more expensive as what a Marvel comic costs these days.
Yeah.
I mean, what are people thinking sometimes? I'll happily pay $5 per page, right, per volume, right?
Right. Well, I think a lot of people that they're attending the Comic Cons, I think they come in with a couple $100 and they have a budget set for themselves, so they definitely don't want to spend all their money on one table. And I think it could be very well done at the Podunk table. Man, there was so much good stuff there. So. And they would, 95% of them would come back around and actually pick up the comic and a poster. So it was great. But just hearing people that I've never met talk about Marius's work and just like, man, they would see it from across the room and they'd make a beeline straight for me. So that was awesome. So him having my back in that sense, as his work was speaking for itself before they even seen my face, or even, knew my name, was that's worth the money in itself, is getting people to come over there. So that was very good.
I mean, him bringing your characters to life in such a way that you've described yourself, you've never had to tell him to redo anything because he was absolutely on point every time. It must give you a special feeling like, yeah, this, and this is only the beginning. I can easily see this going far beyond what it is.
Oh yeah.
And I need to mention something funny, Gerald.
Okay.
The last 3 or 4 guests we've had, their stories have always had some base on folk tales.
Yes.
It just occurred to me that we have a thing about wanting folk tales as our guests, apparently, because and who doesn't? Everybody likes a good story after all.
Well, I think that's a good point, because I think that maybe this typical superhero story has been told over and over, and not to say that there's not a place for that, but I think that this is where independent creators now are shining so much, is that they can tell a story that's not been told, and
exactly
right. I mean, Justin, go ahead.
Gerald, to expand on that, Batman, he's one of the greatest superheroes ever, made, but we know that him and his parents walk out of a theater. We know that his parents get mugged, and we know that he sees it, and we get fed that story. Correct me if I'm wrong, every 3 years, and we love it. We keep buying it. So I think it's just time for new characters, new stories, and that's what Podunk Comics is going to do. We're just going to keep pushing that barrier and knocking it down. So
for sure. No, you can't talk your way out of this one, Gerald. You're done. Time's up.
Oh, time is up. Okay.
Oh, man.
Well, I guess I could keep drawing because you don't see my art cam.
Right.
I've removed you from the conversation, Gerald. If you don't stop, show me both of your hands. Okay, good.
All right.
I trust you, Marius. I trust you. I don't trust Gerald.
So I'm just kidding. Anyway, oh my gosh, look at this.
Oh, so cool.
Can you zoom in a little bit, Marius? Let's zoom in.
And I must say, I even love this kind of art where it's not 100%. I love this where it's still messy, so to say, messy painting, but still gives a lot of gives out the detail you actually need to see what it is.
Yes, this is like
beautiful.
This is the essence of concepting for video games or art.
Yeah.
You pick up a art of movie book or an art of video game book. You see these meticulous concepts, and they're usually maybe color. They're like color concepts, or they're just really rough things to get. Yeah, there we go. So this is another example. Go pick these things up, because Marius is holding up these are examples. This is what my library of books are, concepting books, where we see the video game, we see the movie, and here we go. Look at this. This is what this is what the artists behind the scenes do before we get to see Captain America in the MCU, before we see Iron Man, before we see Aquaman, before we see any of those final things.
Before we see Freakazoid. Oh, wait.
Well, apparently I missed that memo. I didn't see the Freakazoid one. But this is what we see. Marius is already doing it. This is concepting concepting work right here, and it shows just the level of skill and talent. He's able to interpret what Justin tells him and put his own spin on it and just concept it. You got to see that here live, in front of our viewers. So I just hats off to you, man. That's just incredible work.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
I absolutely love that approach that you're doing, and I've never seen it in a comic producing kind of way. So it's really, and it is my favorite approach myself. So it kind of makes me happy to know that, hey, it can be done in this with this sort of approach. Because yeah. I've never seen that approach being used in a comic book before. But you're doing it, so I'm like, well, if he can, then why not me? I probably can't do it that good, but now I know the approach is usable in comics as well. Don't laugh, Joel.
I'm just saying that this is what you can expect from Marius and Justin. It's like, it's not something that's just come up on a whim. It's something that requires. There's a lot of thought process. There's hours and there's blood, sweat, and tears that go into all these characters, and that's why it's so rich. That's why it's so vibrant, and that's why when you pick it up, we haven't seen Falling Rock the comic yet. That's something to look forward to in 2021. But if you pick up an issue of Boar-Bane, you're going to see that rich storytelling that's both in a script and a story, but also visually. It's just to me, it's a perfect combination, and I think that's a perfect way to end this. Our live drawings, just to show that what Justin and Marius as a team can come up with. And unfortunately my camera is dead. And so we don't have to look. We don't have to
see it.
all right. So here's my version. I don't know if you can.
Oh man!
Rick, you want to isolate me for a second? So
I'd rather not, but fine.
All right.
Oh man, that's beautiful.
Oh, nice.
I do like that. Must admit, that's really good.
Anyway, so that's my meager attempt at of trying to execute something that is such. I just can't wait. 2021, here we come. I guess there's going to be another issue of Boar-Bane that probably is going to be on the priority list before we get to see another thing. Yeah. Okay. So this is a live drawings. We've wrapped that up. I kind of want to just give a little bit of a insight in terms of what I heard, in terms of what the next year is going to be, and you guys can back me up. And then of course, when we give the final thought part of it. But this is what I want to stress to our viewers about the whole Marius, Justin, Boar-Bane, Podunk Comics connection. They are not crowdfunding. Not that they might not do that later on, but issue 1 and 2 self-published. This is something that shows. The testament to the belief and the talent that goes behind this. So Justin, as a comic creator, I think the crowdfunding model is great. There's a little bit. We've had a lot of creators that have been on here, but I think one of the things about doing that model is it doesn't allow you to affect the pace. And I think we were talking about the professionalism that Marius is bringing to the table here. He has some really ambitious goals in terms of like what he wants to do in the new year and furthering that story. And I think when you crowdfund things, it's kind of like, you're at the mercy of like, hey, you got to wait for the whole campaign to complete. And then once it's completed, you have to get it, published and then distributed before you can start your next campaign. The thing about self-publishing is you have control over that yourself. So if Marius hits home run after home run after home run, which he's already doing, but if he starts banging out like an issue a month, which I think is like, right. I'm not saying he's going to do that, but he has some really ambitious goals. He wants to do all these things. And that's one thing I want to say too. You got this direct connection, and Marius is a one-man band. Aside from the writing and the direct connection he has with Justin, he is the penciler, the inker, the colorist, the letterer. He lays.
No, he's not the inker because the inker is not needed.
Well, the paint overer. I don't know what the word is for that, but it's sort of like
painter.
Yes,
the painter.
The painter, but he still does. I mean, you saw those. The inks are digital inks. I mean, the fine lines. So it's still
the fine lines are traditional. They're traditional.
Oh, see, so
they're traditionally done. Yes.
Touché, Rick. He does ink. But that's what you can expect. So
these are my pens.
Yeah. So there's the proof. So I am so happy that we got a chance to feature you guys here, and you got Roy. Marius is the man in all caps.
Oh, thanks, Roy.
Yeah, Roy.
Thank you.
Roy, thank you so much. But yes,
Thank you.
just love you guys. Love your artwork. Love the book. Looking forward to what Podunk is going to be doing in the future. Just seeing where we're going to go with Falling Rock. Where we're going with Boar-Bane, and I am privy to some other things that I'm not at liberty to. I had to sign. I had to sign a little no disclosure agreement. So and Rick, you don't even know about it. You don't even know about it. I only know about it.
What the hell?
Another episode.
Hell, guys.
Yeah, right. That's gonna be for.
I don't get a drawing of myself. I don't even get to know what's gonna happen.
You have to enter the contest so you can be. And that's another reminder. Before I do the final thoughts, where they can do their Oscar speeches and this sort of like.
Can I do one this time as well? Gerald, last time you just pushed me aside.
Because you don't get an Oscar. You don't get to do an Oscar speech. Just kidding. Of course you can talk. So here we go. I just want everybody to do. This is your last opportunity to subscribe, like Comics Cast, Indie Comics Cast on YouTube, as well as on Facebook. Follow us, like us there. Because we want you to have an opportunity to be a part of the Boar-Bane universe. We want you to be in the comic because it's going to be awesome. And that includes you, Rick. All those exercises where you unsubscribe from Indie Comics Cast, this is going to give you an opportunity. You just need to follow the directions, do the screen captures, and use the hashtags, and then email all that information to both IndieComicCast at gmail.com and podunkcomics@gmail.com. So
I don't feel like cheating if I take away a chance from all the rest of the guys. Seeing I've been here like commenting and being a part of it by promoting you. So it don't feel like cheating for me if I just did it and then accidentally won. So I'll feel bad crying and then that might just be me, but I can't do it now because I know there might be a chance I take that away from one of your other fans.
Well, that just means you got to you got to find some ways to get LeChun to Marius, and because I think Justin has his share of hogs already, but you just got to find some way to do something else for them that's outside of this contest, and maybe
LeChun. We need LeChun to save the world, Justin. It's not the dogs, it's LeChun.
So maybe you just need to find some ways to keep in touch with them so that maybe they can put you in the background. Oh, someone's a fan. Someone's barking and saying yes. So, all right, okay. So let's here we have. So draw me in Boar-Bane. Use that hashtag. Get us those emails, like and subscribe, so that way you can be in Boar-Bane. So let's go to the Oscar speech and the final thoughts. So which one of you wants to go first? You guys can go. Okay, Marius. He's quicker on the draw. He's quicker on the draw.
Okay, what should I say? What would you like me to say?
You could say whatever you want. You can say whatever you want.
Your final thoughts before we close down.
Final thoughts. Well, thank you to everybody who joined in on the show. I got like one Instagram follower who posted a story that she was watching. So thank you to you. And thank you to everybody who's been leaving comments and have been following through the discussions that we had. I hope that you had a great time. I hope that you enjoyed and maybe learned something from the comic book industry, or to be more specifically, the indie comics industry. Because as Comics Cast is really trying to do, and I really applaud them for that, is that they're really trying to lift up this part of the comics, and that there are some treasures here. Not to be biased with Boar-Bane, but there are treasures. There are treasures here that really need your support, pretty much, or at the very least to be discovered, or to have their moment of the spotlight. So I think Comics Cast is doing something great, and I thank Comics Cast, Gerald, Rick, and everybody behind the scenes for pulling us back again to have this meaningful discussion and to illustrate things, nightmares such as that bobcat sheep thing. And yeah, so it's really just gratitude coming from me. And on my end, with future plans, I I really want to be able to. I'm because just to clue you guys in on the stuff that's going on with me. I'm also trying to write. I've actually written some things, and I'm just looking for the free time to illustrate those. And I hope that they will also be things that you will enjoy as much as so far you guys have enjoyed the art that I've been producing. And I hope that I get to create something. Like I said, we were talking about Berserk earlier. It's a very, very huge thing that to say, but I dream that one day I get to create something as masterful as Berserk, and it's a huge call, and I don't know how long it will take because I still have to dedicate myself momentarily to Boar-Bane and Justin's stories, and I'm really excited for what things we're going to be producing, and so this is just me sort of balancing things out, looking a little bit into the future, looking far into the future, but really sticking to the present and developing myself even more day by day. And to people who are inclined into the arts, who would like to draw, please don't give up. I've received some messages that it gets kind of frustrating. It does. Don't worry. I get frustrated too. Even if you think that my art is already good, I'm still just one of you guys. I still get frustrated. I still get trouble, and so please don't give up. Just keep on studying. Keep on trying to find your comfort, find your flow, and then your art will just build itself. And so please don't give up. To the writers, Justin has proven it. He just have to pick up a pen and just write it out, and then be brave enough to showcase it to somebody. And who knows, they might illustrate it for you, or they might buy it from you. The point is, don't give up on your dreams, guys. Just keep on fighting, but don't let the dream destroy you. Keep it up. So those are just my thoughts.
Well said.
Here. That was well said.
Yeah.
So Justin, follow that up, will you?
I was going to say, don't
I'll keep it short and sweet. Thanks, Gerald, Rick, and Joe, everybody at Comics Cast. Thanks for having us again. Podunk Comics, we're going to keep pushing it, and we're going to come up with some great stories, great artwork, and get it out to you guys just as quick as we can. So, like Marius says, if you call yourself a writer, be right. If you're an artist, call yourself an artist and get the art out there and just keep pushing it. And to the Body Shop guys, they're my biggest fans. Thanks for the support from the Slaceon Gaming guys. They're some of my biggest fans, and my my personal family, from Odessa to Vernon. Just thanks for everybody. Thanks everybody for the support. We're going to keep pumping out some really great work. And 2021's our year. 2020 was actually, it was rough. So I can't wait for 2021. So good job. Thanks, everybody. That's it.
That was a great Oscar speech. I love it completely. And like as promised, I want to give Rick his time too. So Rick, share with your final thoughts.
Man, I wanted to go before these two ended this, but I'm just don't put me up. Don't put me back down.
No,
because I'm talking about our guests, not about me.
Okay.
So our guest needs to be present. So I've gone through a lot of these, like interviewing artists and writers and producers of any kinds when it comes to comics. I've been very, very deep into the business as well, like because I've worked with people that do comics, work with people that teaches comics and everything like that. So I'll admit I've seen it all. I think I say, but I must admit this is the first time I've seen a team that are so much equals in their crafts. Like usually when you go to teams, like when it comes to comics, there's always one taking most of the attention because they're just that much better than the other one. Which is it's not meant negative, but you know what I mean. There's always sometimes it's the writer that's just, wow, this guy's ideas, this guy's art is just top of the line, and you forget the other.
That's the biggest compliment you could have ever given me.
But here, it outrageous. It's perfectly balanced, and I don't. My point is, I don't think I've ever seen that as balanced as I have with you two guys, because, yeah, it's a perfect match. your ideas, your perfectly thought out ideas, the way you explain it, as at least, and then here's a perfect way of painting and putting it into action. It's just so well balanced. So, and
I appreciate that.
it's really good. It's really great.
Wow.
Thank you so much. That's a great compliment. That's the best compliment I could have ever received. So
thank you.
Yeah, very, very high praise there. In fact, I was about ready. You could draw a tear right here too, because that was just
Bobcat sheep tears.
The sheep tears, Bobcat sheep tears. I'm gonna forever remember that too, because that is something that I will.
You need to send it there. Send that to me, Marius.
I will.
That's something that we could always look upon this particular stream with just utter delight. I think that's the way that we could put it that way. So thank you, Rick. Thank you, Marius. Thank you, Justin. That was another record-breaking show. I'm just here for I'm here for the ride. We had a new goal. Another we're at 5. We're gonna hit 3 hours, and so just great stuff. I'm glad to have you here. So this is the part of the show where we promote our charity partner, and I just want to take this time to share with you their website.
No,
so
do it.
You guys are hilarious. So here we go. So this is Golden Fight, and Rick, can you pull up the banner real quickly for me? Well,
yeah. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. I got it. Don't worry.
Yeah, he's on. My partner is on top of it. Thank you so much, Rick. So Golden Fight, they are a near and dear organization to my heart. I really, in the time that I've been with Comics Cast, it's been our pleasure since I've been introduced to them, just to continually end the show and promote them. So Golden Fight, they're an organization that I like to call is big enough and small enough. So small enough in the sense that they are not nationwide here in the United States. They are in my neck of the woods. They basically are in the Mid-Atlantic region. That's DC, Delaware, Maryland. And basically, they are a small, focused organization. Now, big enough since they have big hearts. So what their role is that they help families that have children that are dealing with difficult diseases, in a case like cancer. And when parents are focused on trying to heal their child, there's going to be financial difficulties that are going to happen. And that's where Golden Fight comes in. That's where they're big. They basically raise money for these families so that when they are focusing on their children's healing, they don't have to worry about these expenses. And basically, it's 97, 98% of the money that they raise goes directly to the family. A very nominal, very tiny amount, 2 to 3%, goes to deal with administrative things. I think that the leadership themselves, they all do it voluntarily because they've been touched by these tragic illnesses. And they are doing this out of the kindness of their hearts because they've experienced these type of things. So if you find it in your heart, please check out Golden Fight and see what they're about. And if you have, if you'd like to contribute to a worthy organization, this is one of them. So please check out Golden Fight. So let me stop this, and here we go. This is the part where I feel so sad because we have to end the show. So
it could have gone 7 or 8 hours easily.
I know. And my phone.
I would have continued as well, but I've been needing to pee for 2 hours. I can almost taste it in the back of my mouth.
That's a lot of pee, man.
That's too much information. And I think Marius, you got him too excited. I think you got him excited multiple times. So I'm surprised that he's still here because he might have exploded by now.
I'm a professional, Carol. Okay.
Okay, I gotcha. All right, so
awesome.
Thank you so much. Marius, Justin, Rick, thank you all for being here. And this has been another record-setting Let It Out on Comics Cast. So like and subscribe to Indie Comics Cast and Facebook once again for your opportunity to be in the contest. And be.
You got it, Wally. We're definitely getting these guys back at some point.
Oh yes, we're gonna have you back. Yeah,
I'll announce tomorrow, Gerald.
Oh, okay, all right, okay. We got it. Justin's letting us know. So Boar-Bane 3 is coming out. Be in it by draw me in Boar-Bane the hashtag like and subscribe. Be on the lookout in 2021. Podunk is gonna be making some big moves, and Marius is too. So we're gonna see some phenomenal work from these two guys. So. Peace out. Keep on drawing. Comics Cast, let it out. Thank you. Bye-bye.
See you guys.
Thanks, guys.